in position. It's round 3, Peter Jackson VFL Live at Avalon Airport Oval, and everything is in place. Traditional rivals, the Battle of the W's, Werribee and Williamstown. Umpire in position, just checking all is in place, holds the ball aloft, and away we go in this round 3 clash.
Local rivals that are both now stand alone. Berry playing his first game up against Meese. Actually won the tap down. Meese over the top of it for the Seagulls. That ball's not coming out. We'll have a stoppage still inside the centre square. Perfect day for footy at Avalon Airport Oval. On Peter Jackson VFL Live. We'll hear last week as well. Not quite in the ideal conditions. A great game though between the Northern Blues and North Melbourne. And again, a scrappy old ball. Eventually, Berry hacks it inside 50 for the Tigers. Bouncing ball. Hand pass intended for Munro. Couldn't quite get to it. Good tackle from Gribble to hold things up. We are inside 50 for Werribee.
Playing catch-up with a lot of the movements backwards and forwards. There's a flurry of players moving clubs in the off-season. We'll try and tell you as many of them as we possibly can. Williamstown looking to clear out to centre wing, right in front of our commentary position. And Buck Smith not able to keep it in. We'll have it thrown in. True centre wing position.
Few ex-Roosters in this game today. Andrew Hooper has been very good for Werribee so far today. Almost kicked the winner against Geelong in round 1 at Torquay. And we've also got Lockie George out there for Williamstown. A couple of ex-North Ballarat boys.
Absolutely love seeing the celebrator in action as Matt Hansen just tries to push that ball forward for Werribee. It's been cut off. Monk going long up towards half forward. Flying high. Buck Smith couldn't bring it to ground. Pack of players, and now they eventually get the release. Sotomarco works into the middle of the ground, finds Gribble, working numerically. The kick is excellent. Spots up to Klass, who takes the mark and will line up and have a shot from just outside the 50. Chance at the first score 2 minutes in.
Umpire's asking one of the Klass's teammates to get out of the protected area. No leads on offer, so he's going to have a shot.
He is. And we'll load up with no breeze. It's a flat-looking kick. It's got the trip, though. And there's your opening goal. On the board, Werribee 1 straight 6. Williamstown yet to score 2 minutes into the opening quarter here on Peter Jackson VFL Live.
Real skills.
Kind of Klass, just the 5 disposals last week. Kicked one behind. He'll be happy to get on the scoreboard nice and early.
And the marker set down. Just beautiful rebound from half-back for Werribee.
Listeners might be hearing some of the new PA system coming through here. We love the PA system at Mount Coburg. We'll have that next week on Peter Jackson VFL.
I wonder if they'll bring the Lion for the goals.
I hope he's still alive.
The Lion, unfortunately, sounded like he was almost deceased.
I hope that Lion's okay. Here's W squared. Gets his first touch on VFL Live for 2018. Inside 50, Schultz at the 4 right foot. This would be the perfect reply for the Seagulls, but the kick was wayward. It stays in play here. Now forced over the line is Sotomarco, left forward pocket here for Williamstown.
Guys, you can see at the centre bounces, Sam Collins is trying to keep himself as a 7th defender for Werribee, but he is being manned up at every possible opportunity.
It's Michael Peppercelli, boundary side on VFL debut himself today. Here's Wheeler, great tap down from Meese. Perfect footy and a perfect reply for the Seagulls. It's 1 straight 6 apiece.
Well, isn't that just standard play from Nick Meese?
And Willie Wheeler as well.
I'll just see he's on track for probably about 7,000 hitouts this season. Just continues to set new markers along the way.
Got 53 last week against the Bombers.
It defies imagination just how dominant he is when, for a lot of the season, he's giving away a height advantage.
He's giving that away again today against Jack Berry.
Year after year after year. But what he has got is plenty of experience. And he knows what to do in the contest, and that was a terrific finish from Willie Wheeler. All square. 4 minutes into this opening quarter here on Peter Jackson VFL Live. Meese just using his body, but Berry got over the top, pushing the ball down. Just brought down there was Lockie George, speaking of former Roosters players. He's at the bottom of the pack, and the umpire will throw it up.
Williamstown also setting up with a spare behind the ball as well on the stoppages.
Ball tapped to ground. Sotomarco at the back of the pack. Uses Aylett, who kicks up towards half forward, but he's turned it over. And here's Jack Charleston, who's working across half back. The kick is dangerous, but it comes off. It's okay. And Rodder takes the mark. Still working inside defensive 50. He goes across the ground to Jack Dorgan, who now exits the 50 and proceeds to turn the ball over. Intercept. Maloney finds De Klaas, who'll run to 40 and have a shot and put it through. Oh, it's free-flowing footy at the moment. Won't mind if we see this throughout the afternoon. 2 straight 12 Werribee, Williamstown 1 straight 6, 5 gone opening quarter. So the
Klaas is on fire, guys.
Another goal for the Gordon.
So the turnover was the...
Real outcomes.
Get him up here to do our sponsor messages. This is working quite well. But how's that? The turnover, just absolutely killer, because player was in so much space to be able just to set up and put the ball inside 50, and they were just caught there, the Seagulls.
You might need to find room in your budget, Peter, for our fourth commentator today, who is Werribee's PA man, back in the middle. Into the ruck now is not for the Tigers. A great start. 3 goals in 5 minutes on Peter Jackson, VFL Live. Umpire will cross his arms around the grounds. Good start for the KC Demons against the Tigers. 2 straight 12. Richmond is 1 behind, and Sandringham 3 behind. Port Melbourne have a goal on the board. 2 other games in the Peter Jackson VFL today. Neither ruckman got a hand on that one. It's picked up here by George. Just ran into trouble. Did well to get his hand pass out, and then a clever underground ball from Gibbons to get it out to Pongrassic up toward half forward. And that's where it comes unstuck. It's Barrick that has it for Werribee. He wants to hold on to the ball. He's inside defensive 50. Had to go backwards. That's okay. That was a safe option in the end, and he got it to McFarlane. So the Tigers happy to play some tempo footy. They're up 2 goals to 1 as we go towards the outer wing. No mark taken, but the ball was hacked forward there by Collins. It's bouncing towards half forward. Corbett is going to claim the ball in front of Rodder, but he ran out of real estate. Left half forward. We'll have a boundary throw in.
You can just see that Williamstown set up really well behind the ball, forcing the Tigers to go backwards and then to go to long kick up the line.
So the ball tossed back in. 7 minutes gone in this opening quarter. Meese again fighting his way to the front, but they've turned the footy over, and now Werribee a ball inside 50. It's a deep ball. The fist coming in, working hard there was Myers, but he was just taken off the contest. Still might get out of this though, the Seagulls, as Greiser goes across the ground, and he's found a player in space, Bewley. It's good to see these players who've made their way from the former development league getting their opportunity. One grabber and the second to Jaden Thorpe. That was a classy mark in the middle of the ground for Williamstown. The kick inside 50 beats the initial pack. Players trying to get towards it. Sammy Donnell, one of those. He's just been worried off the footy, and they're away, Werribee.
Off half back they go again. Corbett had a very, very good game last week. That was against Casey. Pushed out of it by Rodder. Bouncing ball just stopped dead on the turf. And then the humanity converged onto the ball. It did spill out, so the Tigers are happy to go back inside 50. Trying to read it in flight was Pickus. Couldn't take the mark. It spill out the back. Chance for the Tigers. Kick toward the centre of the 50, and the mark is taken. Shot on goal coming up for Ben Maloney. Right in the hot spot.
Big pickup for the season, Ben Maloney for Werribee. But again, just a good setup, and they just had the numbers up forward.
So a slight angle to deal with here. Only has to kick it from about 30. Plenty of changes coming through in front of Michael Peppicelli as well, particularly for the Seagulls.
Former Geelong Falcon, played for the Cats VFL and Pies VFL team.
Left foot is absolutely perfect, and the Tigers have 3 goals on the board. Williamstown are 1 straight 6, 8.5 gone opening
Another
term.
goal for Werribee. Another goal
You
for
saw there the
Gordon.
poise and the
Real
wherewithal
skills,
from the Werribee
real
small
experience.
forward there. I think it
Real
might have been Munro just to take his time and set up the shot for Maloney, and they get a goal out of it.
Michael Peppicelli joining us on the boundary line. Not sure whether he had to whack Avalon Airport Oval into the old GPS.
He would have.
Had to have gone all this far.
2-hour trip, Peps.
About 1.5, Adam. We got here eventually.
He'd much prefer we be at the game at Sandringham today, which remains at 3-6 at the moment. That's walking distance for you, Peps.
It's not far at all.
Just those more affluent suburbs, but that's okay. Just glad to see you're still with us as the ball coming inside towards the 50 here for Williamstown. That's a great push on, and here's Schultz. He's got 2 to beat. And he almost did. He did very well. And now he's crunched. Still managed to get the kick away, but they've turned it over. Now an opportunity as Boyd goes in short and finds a teammate in Knott. They're just trying to release the footy. This is going out of bounds on the full. It is. The kick not great from Brolman. And the turnover on. And here's Josh Pickus, former Frankston Dolphin, staying with the Seagulls. The kick is short, finds Meese, who's got plenty of space, and he just kicks the ball up high. It's one for the Flyers. No one could take the mark. Donnell trying to make a nuisance of himself. Sort of Marco at the bottom of the pack for Werribee, and the umpire will come in and toss it up.
Around the grounds, really good start for Casey. They have kicked 4 straight goals. Tigers still just the one behind. Both Tigers in play today here in the VFL. There's Meese, got it down, but got it down to the wrong man. Munro was tackled off his kick. Ball just spits out. Brute left it. And now they're away through McFarlane here at Werribee, although he got brought down, holding the ball. Great tackling pressure coming from Thorpe. And he has potentially a shot on goal directly in front.
Well, we just saw there was one of those adjudications where the runner tried to take the bounce as he was being tackled, and even though it came back to him and he got a handball away, you're not allowed to do that. So there's the free kick.
Up here in the box, Pep, so it's getting a bit of a breeze coming towards us at the moment. Does he have to go right to left?
The breeze has picked up a little bit, Adam. I think right to left is probably not a bad idea at this point in time, but I'm no goal-kicking guru.
No blemishes on the scoreboard either way just yet. As Jalen Thorpe did kick 2 last week against Essendon. That one did go right to left, and he didn't account for it, so that is the first blemish of the day, 117 to 3 straight 18.
So McFarlane to bring the ball back into play. And looks like he's going to go straight up the guts, which he does. And trying to get hands to it was Buck Smith. Couldn't bring it down for Williamstown, and still in dispute at half-back for Werribee. No one can get clear. Collins managed to hack it on the boot. Trying to push that ball up towards Hooper, the celebrator, but he's turned it over, and now inside 50. That's a great mark taken by Donnell. Gee, they move the ball fast. And they've got the result. And Sammy Donnell, what a player he's been for this Williamstown side. He will come in and have a shot 48 metres out on the side angle.
Just had the right position there, Donnell. He was just playing in front, and the kick came down, and he was there to take it. Good forward positioning.
See Andy Collins with the earbuds in right in front of us, coaching from the boundary line as per usual.
I think we'll hear from him at quarter time.
Sammy Donnell steps inside the 50, gives it everything. No problem at all. Not for Sammy. That's his first of the afternoon. And Williamstown have their second. 2-1-13. Werribee 3 straight 18. We've played 12.5 minutes in this opening quarter on Peter Jackson VFL Live.
Sam Donnell, one of the cleanest players in at the Peter Jackson VFL. Around the grounds at the Swinburne Centre, it is just getting worse for Richmond. They are stuck on one behind. Casey now up to 5-1-31. That's the 2 most recent runners-up in the Peter Jackson VFL in that one so far. So Casey have gone bang, 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 bang.
At the Swinburne Centre, you say?
That's what they're calling it down there at Punt Road these days. Well, they're in round 1. That was a big win for the Tigers against Port Melbourne. It was all doom and gloom after round 1, Peter Mercado, but the VFL seems to have balanced out a bit since then. Good to see. As Norton goes very short and wide for Wheeler. Off half-back here are the Seagulls. Down by only 5 points. A great kicking board for George. And from the middle of Avalon Airport Oval goes bang. Kavara had some space. The kick was okay. Kavara just dropped the mark. Did well to lay a tackle on Knott. And now Donnell. You heard one of the spectators say, well done. That was certainly correct. It's a ball up.
They didn't kick the goal there, Williamstown, but just the courage to bring the ball into the middle of the ground and just opened up the whole field, and, well, they really should have been having a shot at goal there.
Pretty good crowd here in at Avalon Airport Oval, I should say, as well as Gibbons on the left. Just rushed it inside 50. Not a great ball, though. Ayler in the hole for Werribee. And he's going to look to go towards the goal square. Barrick looking toward the outer side. He's happy to go short as well. So we're getting a bit of tempo footy from the Tigers. Now the release kick out toward the wing. Good ball. That's Berry, I think, that's taking it. The big man goes inboard. Good ball for Brute. And he's happy to send it. This is great link-up play. Hooper's all by himself. He's going to play on. The short pass is okay. Another relatively simple shot on goal is coming up. Corbett had a really good game last week, kicked 3 goals, took 4 contested marks. He can kick his first today here. Directly in front, about 40 metres out. Can re-establish an 11-point lead. Right foot's on the way. Perfect. This is a good game of Peter Jackson VFL footy at the moment. Is there a whistle after the goal? Did I hear a whistle? No, it's all clear, I think. So the Tigers will move to 4 straight, 24 to 2-1-13.
Great start for Werribee in this one. I'm not too sure what happened there at centre half forward. Hooper was just able to just stand there for maybe a few seconds, and they eventually found the open man, and that led to a goal.
Stand there. He was standing there long enough. He could have had a drink service brought out to him. He was just there on his own for so long. 24 plays 13. 15 and a half gone in this opening quarter. I think we might need to redo the bounce. We will. It was a little short because it didn't quite make it to the height of Jack Berry's 198 centimetres. Ball tossed back up. Again, using his body, Meesty does that well to get the tap down. But it's going to be a Werribee ball. Almost taken high there was Maloney. There's a free kick anyway going Werribee's way. Advantage paid. Ball inside 50. And I tell you what, this is a hell of a start. The class has got it again. He's got 2 goals already this afternoon, and we're only 16 minutes in to the opening quarter.
And again, as Peps has told us, no breeze favouring either end at the moment.
So he's on a tight angle. He'll step just inside the 50. On the grandstand side, the kick has got plenty of distance. He's kicked it. 3 already. And Werribee are just getting the job done nicely. They are flying along here. They are 5 straight 30 playing 2-1-13. 16 minutes gone in this opening quarter on Peter Jackson VFL Live. This is ideal, and this is the start they wanted.
It is. Just want to ask you quickly, Peter Mercado and Michael Peppicelli as well. It's a big issue in our game at the moment. I'm not sure why, the bounce. Are you pro-bounce or anti-bounce, Peter Mercado?
Well, I think we should throw it up because I think even though it's only a matter of seconds, we keep delaying the game. Puts pressure on the umpires. It's
been done away with at local level, I can tell you that. We're back in the middle. That bounce was perfect, by the way, so good to see. Back in the middle. And dispossessed as he was brought down there was the Williamstown man in George. We go back inside 50 for the Tigers. Munro, but Williamstown that get it back, and Dorgan now takes the mark inside defensive 50. The game being played on this outer side as we speak. We are now 17 and a half minutes in. Dorgan asked to hurry up, goes high towards the wing. Meese in the hole, couldn't take the mark. Some Tigers at ground level. Good tackle from Aylitz and Barrick. That'll hold things up, centre wing outer side.
Williamstown just needs to try and possess the footy for a couple of minutes, I think. The pressure around the ball from Werribee has been fantastic, and they're getting them and making them pay on the scoreboard.
Around the grounds, Casey by 28, Sandringham by 4. Here it's the Tigers by 17, another stoppage. It's Berry against Meese. The ball up did favour Meese that time. High ball from Hooper towards half forward. Munro underneath that one, but the fist there came from Monk. It goes out of play. Can't complain, Peter Mercado. You've made your return to Peter Jackson VFL Live with the absolute perfect conditions.
As it should be.
A brand new setup here at Avalon Airport Oval.
As it should be.
Life's good.
It is. Oh, yes. Although, we're just waiting for winter to arrive. It's almost here. Although 28 degrees tomorrow, they reckon, as Meese grabbed it out of the ruck and then just hacked it onto the boot. Gained about 30 metres. Lockie George trying to keep the ball in. Goes over. We'll have it thrown in. Just into attack here for the Seagulls, who want to respond. 5 straight 30 Werribee. Williamstown 2-1-13. Who've gone almost 19 minutes in this opening quarter here on Peter Jackson VFL Live. As the umpire tosses the ball back in on that outer side. Meese just gets Berry out of the way. But still couldn't bring it to ground. Aylett paddling in front of him. He's being harassed by a number of Seagulls. Now's forced to lay the tackle. Eventually spills free. Charleston going without it. Gibbons is there. He just tacks the handball forward. Trying to get onto it. McFarlane for Werribee. He's dragged down by Charleston, and he had plenty of opportunity, and it's going to be a free kick to the Seagulls. Also there, Benny Cavara, and he'll be the player to take the free kick.
Another ex-Dolphin out there today.
Oh, and they're played on as well. And I think they've run out of room. The kick inside 50 is going to be turned over. That was a bad move. And now Barrack eventually has it inside 50. Wanted to go for a little drive-by. It wasn't on. And well done to the Werribee players for being aware of it too. And now they have their chance as they move up the ground. Munro, solid mark as he kicks up towards half forward. Boy, they've got acres of open space. And here's Hooper. He's 53 from goal. His kick inside the 50. Oh, and again, it's Corbett who takes the mark. And they're just getting killed on the turnovers at the moment, the Seagulls.
Well, we just saw the contrast in ball movement there from both teams. The Seagulls had to scrap and claw their way inside 50, and when they eventually did get it within scoring position, they turned it over on the hack kick, and straight away, the Tigers are just able to move it quickly and have a shot at goal.
So, Corbett, want to get on the multiple goal kickers list in this opening term. Yeah, no problem. No problem at all. We mentioned Breeze, not really a factor. And for Josh Corbett from North Warrnambool, he adds another one to the total. 20 and a half minutes gone, 6 straight 36 plays, 2-1-13 here on Peter Jackson VFL Live. Let's go around the grounds.
We have a level ball game at Trevor Barker Beach Oval at the moment. 1-6-12 Sandringham. Port Melbourne are 2 straight 12 inaccurate, have been the Zebras so far. Casey maintaining their good start. Tigers got a couple goals themselves now though. 6-2-38 the Demons. The Tigers are 2-2-14. No action at the top level just yet. That'll be Hawthorn against North Melbourne. Under the lid, unless the lid's open. Back in the middle, into the ruck. Now is Buck Smith for the Seagulls. That's a good tackle by Sotomarker to hold things up. Umpire crosses his arms. Just noticing Jack Berry on the boundary line at the moment. Getting his elbow looked at, his left elbow. One for Michael Peppercelli to perhaps keep his eye on. Gibbons, good hand pass out. Wheeler back to Gibbons, tried to release Kavara over the top, got rid of his man. Ben Kavara just beyond 50. Left foot goes to the goal square. No mark taken for Williamstown anyway, but that's a great mark going back, Collins. Took it nicely for Werribee. He goes wide. That's a good kick. Maloney put down after the kick. There will be no 50-metre penalty for that one.
I think they need to try and man up Collins, guys. He's just doing as he pleases across half back. Took 14 marks last week and he's well on his way today.
Browman has the sleeve. That's not a great kick. Straight down the throat of Gibbons.
I think from our vantage point, Berry's looking okay here for the Tigers.
He's just getting his elbow looked at as Gibbons goes high and long. That was an unrealistic attempt at the ball there for Henderson, the 23rd man, and he gives away the free kick to Schultz. No offers yet on the lead. Donnell's looking for a chance to present, but Schultz might have to go long to the square. Now he just pokes it to the hot spot. Buck Smith over his head, and Barrack is the one that takes the mark there, picks it off for the Tigers. Will go again. Some of the locals not happy. We're a vocal bunch of Williamstown fans as we go towards broadcast side of the ground. Not much footy on this part of the ground yet. A push in the marking contest and a free kick for the Gulls again. This time it's going to be taken by Billy Myers. Outside of the boot, went up toward the hot spot. A bit of a fly, but he was too deep that time. Was Thorpe, and a free kick this time for Werribee. So it's a bit of kick to kick. Get the moment here at Avalon Airport Oval.
It's Collins. Collins looking like he might turn it over as well. Ball through a pack. Maloney did really well. Got it off to Petterwood, who's got a free player. Where are they fighting all this space? Cleland. He can go inside the 50, deep into the pocket. And the mark to Corbett. He's on the tight angle, but they've still got players lining up. The kick didn't find the target. Petterwood coming forward. He had to take it on the half volley. Now picks it up, and they set on top of him. Trying to get clear. Umpire happy to let this go. Pongracic there for Williamstown, and the umpire will throw it up. Into attack here for Werribee. 24 minutes gone the opening quarter. 36 plays 13. Home team leading. Meese back in the ruck. Pushes that ball down. They've got some numbers here, the Seagulls, as the kick goes up towards centre wing. Fist coming in. No one can take clean possession. Brett's there, trying to find Barrack, Fort Werribee. It's been turned over. Norton, they're going to work through the middle of the ground here, the Seagulls, and find some space too. The kick from Gibbons into the path here of Donnell, but he's got a couple of Tigers to beat. Working in tandem. Collins did really well, put the ball in short. And heads towards the boundary line, and they managed to keep it in. They're going to do this by a short kick, you would think, the Tigers. Brew takes the mark.
You just see again the Werribee wall across half back is just impenetrable at the moment for the Seagulls.
Across the ground, Jack Henderson's the 23rd player today for the Tigers, and he's going to have to mop up after his kick. Didn't do Pinnock any favours. The 23rd player runs outside the 50, defensive 50, and finds Matt Hansen. That was a better kick. His kick up the line, trying to find Berry, does, who wheels around, who kicks now inside, attacking 50. Fort Werribee, the fists come in, no one can pick it up cleanly. Petterwood's there. Play going without the footy is Brew. And now there's a pack of players forming on top of this. It's eventually released. Gibbons did well, found Rodder. And the kick goes in short, and they should be able to reset from here.
Greiser to Meese, still inside defensive 50. 6 straight, the Tigers. The Seagulls are 2-1-13. It's been a wonderful start for the home side here as Meese comes off his line. Kick toward the outer wing. It was Masters that let it go over his head. It bounced out of play just forward of centre wing. So a downfield free kick known as a blood rule. And it looks like either Gibbons or Greiser maybe that has to come off here. There's a blood rule that Williamstown have to attend to, and Bewley's the man that's going to come on. That's actually a pretty nasty gash there, Michael Peppercelli, as that Seagull does come off the ground. It looks like Michael Gibbons.
Yeah. And the shirts, jumpers immediately coming off too. They'll just do a quick change. And
there's a lot of claret there. All right, back live, and we are inside 50 here for Williamstown. But again, that back six of the Tigers has been very good so far, repelling all the entries. Greiser brought down, got his hand pass out in time. Little flick was okay. Pongracic got it off. Now a fresh area for Meese. No holding the ball. Just outside the centre circles here. Umpire's going to let this go for a while. Now calls for the ball up.
Gibbons is just having that gash patched up. He should be out there maybe by the end of the quarter. If not, probably the second quarter.
We are approaching quarter time here. We've had a lot of goals kicked, 8 to be exact. Around the shoulder there, went knots up toward half forward. Well picked up by Brew, fed out the handball. Gribble had some space. Left foot's on the way. It's across the face. First behind of the afternoon for Werribee, 6-1-37 to 2-1-13, an even 4-goal game on Peter Jackson, VFL Live.
Yeah, been a great start for the home team. Can they get one more? There's the long ball coming out. Browman sitting underneath it. The back go over the top of him. Sotomaco there. He's tackled by Willie Wheeler of Williamstown. Held up. The umpire says, give it to me. Point of the square. Attacking side for Werribee. 37 playing 13. As we tick down to quarter time. Meese with the second and the third effort, just trying to push his way through. Can't do so. Another pack forms. And we'll do it again. So, maybe a jumper change too for Michael Gibbons. I see that the physio's holding a jumper with 50 on it. Just keep an eye on that, Michael. We love our jumper number changes mid-match here on Peter Jackson VFL Live. Really just throws us off kilter as another pack forms. Stoppage King could be in operation. I reckon I've got one more in me, Adam. 28.5 minutes gone in this opening quarter. And Meese, again, just bullocking his way through, but ball falls to Maishman, who kicks inside the 50. It's a little low ball grubber sort of style. And they got another mark inside the 50, and it's Corbett again, having some sort of quarter.
You're right, Peter. It will be a number change for Michael Gibbons. He'll be wearing the 50 for the rest of the afternoon. Oh, he's patched up and ready to go as well.
The famous number 50. Lucky he's cut his hair short around the sides, because he's wrapped up tight. Corbett goes high and long. Oh, yeah, that's not a problem either. Class and Corbett, 3 goals each, and they've got 7 on the board already. 7-1-43 plays 2-1-13. 29 minutes gone in the opening quarter here on Peter Jackson VFL Live.
Andy Collins will be interesting listening coming out of that quarter-time huddle. He's very, very calm and collected. That's his normal demeanour. He's currently giving some instructions to Rodder. Dare say he won't be happy with this. He's coughed up 7 goals his side. Only 2 the other way. 7-1 to 2-1. That's 9-2 combined for the quarter. That's the sort of footy we like to see here on Peter Jackson at VFL Live. Back in the middle, Berry will go up against Meese once more. Umpire, another perfect bounce. It favoured Meese. Didn't get a hand on it though. Wheeler's wrapped up high though. Free kick for the Seagulls. They need that. Can they squeeze a late one in? We're about to tick into 30 minutes of the opening term. As Wheeler points long, goes deep. Thorpe again with the fly. Can't take the mark. Buck Smith got the Falcon out the back, and now they're away again. McFarlane here for Werribee. Clearing ball. That's lacking targets, aren't they, to Seagulls when they go forward. Pickus lost the ball. Munro forced out of play.
Williamstown once again forced to kick long inside 50. They had a couple of short leads but decided to ignore them. I think the pressure might be getting to them.
So Berry will take on Meese once more. Boundary throw in. Berry actually won that one down. Then he has to go back in and fetch it once more himself. Did well to spit the ball out, and the Tigers do go deep once more. Bouncing for Hanson. Hooper's in the region as well. Ball ricochets out, picked up by Munro. Quick snap. Will just sneak in for one. 7-2-44 plays 2-1-13. Quarter time surely just around the corner. We'll know about it because I think the siren is right next to our FX mic, Peter Mercado.
It is. We love positioning it, just so you know.
Just
if you were sort of nodding off mid-broadcast, you'll know.
We'll know too.
Greiser goes short. Now, can they get something going here? Williamstown, no. It's going to be turnover. Pinnock inside 50. This is too easy at the moment. Tom Gribble takes the mark, and he will line up and have a shot 45 metres out. No real angle to speak of, and just backing up what you were talking about, Adam, we do get the occasional waft of breeze that comes through. If you weren't awake before, you certainly are now. Tell you which team is awake, and that's Werribee at the moment. Gribble to round out a magnificent quarter. Oh, he has 8 goals on the board. 8-2-50 plays 2-1-13. That quarter going 32 minutes.
In that huddle as well?
Yes, I certainly was, Adam.
All right, we'll get some thoughts just when we can in our first stoppage. Second term is underway. Williamstown a long way behind. Werribee have already raised the bat. They've got a half ton on the board. That was a shocking bounce to start this second term. Yeah, I'm with you, Peter Mercado. The sooner we rid ourselves of the bounce, the better, and the game can actually move on and evolve. It's Hanson that gets the first clearance of the second term. Towards half forward, Munro couldn't mark. It's in the hands of Aylett, needs some help, went back by hand, Petterwood. Some pressure, well done Gibbons, ball spills out. Hanson held on to the ball, great little pass. They're picking up where they left off, Werribee. It's in the hands of Berry. We'll go down to you, Peps.
Yes, thanks, Adam. And that is one of the things that John Lamont was very happy about at quarter time. He's happy with the way his team is lowering the eyes when going forward, hitting up those short targets like we just saw there. Also very happy with their defensive setup, forcing the Seagulls to kick it long.
So all eyes on Jack Berry. He's making his debut. That's across the face and just sneaking in for a point.
Oh, he was having a crack at the 9-iron there, Adam. Plenty of height on that ball.
8-3 does play 2-1. They've kicked 2 straight behinds now after a very accurate start, Werribee.
So Bewley doing the kicking out. He kicks to himself and then goes long and deep outside the 50. Buck Smith flew high, couldn't take the mark. It's been turned over. Hanson for Werribee sends him back inside 50. It's been a familiar story so far. Corbett, handball over the top. Petterwood tight on the boundary. He puts the ball up high, up to the top of the goal square. They come from all directions. Willie Wheeler at the bottom of the pack. Handball out to Gibbons. He goes back and they should reset. Bewley for Williamstown. His kick going wider, looking for Pongrassic. Hits him on the half volley. He's got a teammate in space who, well, the space disappeared very, very quickly. And it's over the line. I think that's Jack Dorgan down there who ran out of room, and the ball will be thrown in. 51 plays 13. Ball tossed back in. Boundary umpire went with the momentum of it. Meese down, Charleston, and Dorgan lost a handle on it. Wheeler, that was front on contact. There'll be a free kick to the Seagulls.
There's plenty of energy in that Werribee huddle at quarter time. Also very happy with the kick to handball ratio, John Lamont. They want to be a kicking team, and they've done that so far. Yes,
they've done a good job of it. In fact, it's Monk, the player, who was brought down and taking the free kick. Meese held up in the tackle, works it across. Kavara having to work up the ground and finds the famous number 50 of Michael Gibbons. And halfback for Williamstown.
Looked corridor, went down the line instead. Leading the contest late was Pinnock, couldn't take the mark. It's picked up by Denell. There's some space out here. Kavara looking for some options. Schultz is a man running back, takes the chest mark and finishes the job. A much needed one for Williamstown to start the second term, 3-1-19 to 8-3-51.
So again, Williamstown forced to kick long up the line, but they were able to win the contest at ground level, and then they were able to get it moving quickly, and there you see it, a goal from the goal line.
Yeah, he had a lot of momentum after he took that mark.
I thought he might have run it through for a behind for a second.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I thought he's got too much momentum.
The kick may have gone through itself off the boot of Kavara as well there. So.
Small forwards always want to get themselves a cheeky little goal there, Adam.
Yeah, Adam.
That's the thoughts of EDFL Media's Michael Peppicelli back in the middle.
Not when you're on this. Not when you're on this coverage.
One sneaky plug.
Well, you take the call from Anthony Staggetts as Hansen takes it from the ruck contest. He's being held up in the tackle by Gibbons, and the umpire will throw the ball up. Not going to start any sort of rivalry sort of things going on here, particularly out of the league. Too busy dealing with the in-league ones. As, again, it's Willie Wheeler held up in the tackle right in the middle of Avalon Airport Oval in this magnificent facility. I've got to say, cannot underline how impressed we are with the facility here. It's pretty good.
TV game here next week, is it? Or coming up soon?
I think so. It's the kick going inside 50 for Werribee. Rodder's caught at the back. And Corbett again's taken the mark. And he's under pressure, Rodder. And he was caught 3 deep to try and get to that contest. But Corbett, just too big, too strong, and had front position.
We saw Rodder having a conversation with Andy Collins late in that opening term. It was very instructional based on the hand signals we were getting from Collins, but all eyes on Corbett. Going for 4 now, Peter McCarthy.
In he comes. He'll kick from 40 out. He'll miss, though. 8-4-52 to 3-1-19. Almost 5 gone, second quarter. Peter Jackson, VFL live today. Beautiful conditions for football and beautiful for Jack Dorgan to kick to himself.
Pongrassic was asking for it, but he goes longer still to Masters, and he takes the mark on the outer side. Has to deal with a loose bootlace. Umpire's going to ask him to hurry up now. There's nothing on offer. There's a bit of a huddle actually around centre wing, so he goes down the line for Schultz. Over his head, ball gets killed off. Boundary throw-in.
Well, we just saw there when kicking inside 50, Werribee, they were able to just isolate that 2-on-2, and I think they might be trying to isolate Rodder 1-on-1 as well, because definitely heard his name thrown around a few times in that Werribee huddle, so something to keep an eye on.
Knots in front of Meese that time. Shepherded him out of that ball. Wheeler's out the fall, and he sends the Seagulls up towards half forward. Buck Smith went up, didn't bring the ball down. And the Tigers, they work things out, get it out of the danger zone. It's actually a switching ball here toward our broadcast side of the ground. And there's a foot race to claim the Sherrin. Pushed over the line is Masters. A boundary throw in. Well done, Aylett. Just forward of centre wing here for Williamstown as Hooper comes off for Munro. Charleston gets replaced by Greiser. At the gates of respite. Boundary throw in. It's going to be Mason, not once more. 52 plays 19, a big start here for Werribee. They are still winless so far as a standalone entity in the Peter Jackson VFL. We go inside 50 off the boot of Pickus. Looking for Buck Smith, couldn't take the mark. Collins over the top of it. Pressure came, Buck Smith did well. It's a Williamstown ball here. Right foot toward the hot spot. Schultz, diving effort. A great slips catch and a shot on goal from point blank range. He's going to get 2 to start this second term.
It's a terrific mark under pressure.
It appears we have a scoring end. It's the Geelong end of the ground here, the Aquatic Centre end. Right of screen if you're watching on vfl.com.au. And Lockie Schultz has a chance to kick the first 2 goals of this second term to make some inroads on this Werribee lead. A slight angle. 25 out. A little patchy part of the surface, and he slots it through. 4-1-25 Williamstown, Werribee 8-4-52, second term.
He's providing a bit of a spark, Lockie Schultz, up in that forward line. Just the 4 disposals last week, 14 disposals I should say. A bit of a quiet game, only the one behind. So he'd be happy to be hitting the scoreboard pretty early on in this one.
Yeah, things looking a bit brighter for Williamstown, as we heard from Andy Collins at quarter time. There's still 3 quarters to go. So Jack Dorgan comes to the boundary line for a bit of a breather. So 52 plays 25. We've played 8 minutes in this second term. A beautiful day for footy in the Peter Jackson VFL. Meese rose early, still managed to get it down and lay the tackle and pick up the footy and get the handball out. I think went as far as Barrick. There is a whistle, a holding free kick, and it will be going the way of Barrick for Werribee, who's actually wondering where the footy is. There's 50 metres, is it? It's going to be downfield. There's a downfield free kick. Sotomaco's got his hands on it. A little bit of push and shove at half forward for Werribee. The umpire was straight onto it. The skipper has got it in his hands, but it's going to be Riley Barrick who's going to take the free kick. He wasn't quite sure what was going on. But as it turns out, he'll now be in goal scoring range because the umpire has set the mark inside 50 and he'll be 35 metres out, Riley Barrick. So he's come from backward of centre to have a shot at goal, and he's missed it to the left again. That's been the issue for Werribee early in this quarter. 8-5-53, plays 4-1-25, 9 gone in the second term. And Michael, just repeating, there's no breeze really to speak of, is there?
No, not really, Peter. If anything, there might be a slight breeze going across the face of the goal at the Melbourne end there from right to left, but that would be about it.
Gibbons can't keep that in. It spills out of play, boundary throw in as Nick Meese has a bit of a walk down, which means Buck Smith's in the ruck at the moment for the Seagulls. There's a couple of vocal Seagull supporters below us really getting stuck in. Boundary throw in. Double fister down there that time from Knott, but it spills back out of play. Not keeping it in his Meishman. Will go again. Rinse and repeat. As Collins comes off for McFarlane on the Werribee bench. Nick Meese just standing by here, watching the boundary umpire bring this one back in. Both rucks looking into the sun here. Knott again, just kept it down in front of him. There was no one there to rove it. So we'll have another stoppage as Brew gets wrapped up with Wheeler. Dominic Brew, pretty sure the only man out here today that shares his name with a Melbourne Cup winner, I think. There's been a lot of them, Peter Mercado, since the mid-1800s. Clearing ball here from Kavara. That's a good mark. Used his chin a little bit. That's like a helmet catch there, Mark Peppicelli for Donnell.
Yeah, I think that one might have hurt a little bit, but he won't mind. He's taking the mark.
So Donnell goes in board by hand. Kavara had it, just spilled it, bounced off his chest and coughed up the ball. Werribee get it back as we go towards half forward. It's going to be a bouncing ball here. A difficult one here to navigate for Tippett. First time we've called his name today. Right up around his shoulder. Buck Smith fumbled, keeps it in play. Threw it onto the right boot. Still a live ball. 2 Seagulls against 1 Tiger. Bewley couldn't work it out there with Thorpe, and it's a Werribee ball. Barrick had it and lost it. Handball from Petterwood was just a bit wayward. And Dorgan brought down as well. Gibbons lays a tackle. Ball up.
Yeah, contest tightening up a little bit. Werribee still with that advantage. Just can't put the scoreboard pressure on Williamstown as the ball's thrown back up. Buck Smith diving all over the top. Rauman almost top one high, managed to release the footy. That's got to be holding the ball. No, call from the umpire. They're on the sandy part of the turf right near the interchange gate for the Tigers. And the umpire will throw the ball up. They're hurling themselves at the footy, all of the players. Very slow to pick himself up is Gribble. And again, Berry going to work. Meese, though, getting the tap down. It's going to be a familiar story. We've heard it so many times. Again, Norton, the player, wrapped up, and the umpire will throw it up. Same spot. Let's see if we get the same result. No, this time Berry did. Just reached over the top, and he did nicely. Got it off to Maishman. His handball, tricky one. Munro overrunning the footy, and now it's been turned over. Little chipper ball. Is that inside the field of play? It is. An excellent mark taken by Schultz, who received from Wheeler. It was pinpoint. Now kicking inside the 50. Coming out to meet it there was Pongracic. Almost got one high from Barrick, and then Barrick followed up again. Good second effort to force the stoppage. The umpire will throw the ball up as Kavara slowly gets to his feet. We're on 50 for Williamstown. 53 plays 25. Werribee leading. 12 and a half gone in this second quarter. Brown just over around the footy. Now the clearing kick from Berry. Heading up towards the middle of the ground. Corbett got hands to it, was worried off it. Working there, Charleston. Almost like a jump ball in basketball. Corbett again overrunning the footy. Pack forms. Eventually it's released. Sneaking out the back there was Norton. Got it back. Now they've got some space. And they can go for a run here. Michael Gibbons, who kicks up to the top of the goal square. Got 3 to beat here. Unfortunately, Seagulls are terribly outnumbered down there. The kick is short and it's okay. Maloney was under pressure. He still managed to take the mark with Gibbons bearing down on him.
Around the grounds, 2 close games. It's Casey now by only 2 points against Richmond and a 2-point lead as well for Sandringham over Port Melbourne. We saw a lot of this in the first term from Werribee. Happy to chip short in their back half of the ground. McFarlane has to come off his line, has to take on the man on the mark in Kavara. That's no easy feat. Got his kick out in time before there was real pressure on him. Barrick's going to watch this one go out of play. And it's a boundary throw in at half forward for Williamstown as Buck Smith just wanders back toward the goal square. He'll be a key focal point if they can get a clearance here. The Seagulls. Meese back out on the ground and will contest this one against Berry. Meese caught behind, did slope it down. Charleston just had to meet the Brew tackle. Ball spills out, Sotomarco. Good hand pass out wide. Maishman, a little drilling ball. Reaching for it, Hooper couldn't get to it. And a turnover is the result. Norton back into the side, goes onto the right foot. High towards half forwards, and Nell was engaged in battle with Pinnock. Overrunning at Pongracic. That kick didn't really go far there for Williamstown. Sotomarco was there to claim it and they're away. Gets the 1-2. Does the Werribee skipper and he takes a bounce. Then 2. Runs across the centre circles. Hand pass was back. Needed some help. Maloney brought down by Bewley. Well done, Williamstown. Free kick. That's centre half back for the ex-Western Jets captain.
Oh, you'd have to be lifting in confidence here. You think the Seagulls, the ball across the ground. Well, Dorgan was taken off it, but they've still got the numbers on this outer side. Willie Wheeler kicking inside the 50, into the pocket. That, I reckon, is their best passage of play for the afternoon.
And it all started with the chase down tackle from Brett Bewley. That kind of thing does tend to lift the team, and now they have a chance to reduce the deficit to 22 points.
Really? Exactly. That's the thing that it does. They were cruising like they were going to get another one inside 50, the Tigers, but they were shut down and then they got them on the overlap, and it's just going to be really slow going for the Williamstown team as this ball's across the face for a behind. Really slow going, but you just feel that they're winning the momentum battle at the moment. 53 plays 26. We've gone 15, almost 16 minutes in this second term here on Peter Jackson VFL Live. There's Penny clearing the area. That's a terrific mark. Now, you see that it's a lot less free-flowing as what we saw in the opening term, where it was far too easy for the Tigers to get away. Now you feel like they're being held up. And Collins, not sure who to kick to, so he's just having to go in short, and here's where the turnover is on. Pinnock dropped what he probably should have taken. Kavara going over his head to Norton. just brushed the tackle. Handball at Kavara. It's Donnell who goes short. Barrick did well just to put the fist in. They're under pressure again, and they work well. Hansen for the Tigers, just clearing the area to Class. He was caught up in the contest. It fell to the back. Working there, Charleston has Rodder alongside. The little chipping ball is okay, and they should be able to build again on centre wing, the Seagulls.
It's going to be Dorgan that sends them inside 50. Masters, but Barrick got in the hole, did well. Staying in play here. Now it's forced out. Masters with the tackle on Collins. We're inside 50 for Williamstown. They need to get a few more goals here to get back into it. Down by 27.
They're just holding on at the moment, Werribee. Williamstown, the intensity has lifted a lot from them in this second term. They need to make a count on the scoreboard, as you said, Adam.
2-1, the 3 behind so far in this second term, which is 17 minutes old. Charleston leading Hooper to this ball. He's going to claim it at half forward. Got the hand pass out. Needed to combine there. Gets it back. Charleston goes inboard. They've worked this out nicely. Greiser, great little pass inside 50, and a shot on goal is coming up for Norton.
Again, the pressure's been good from Williamstown, creates another turnover, and they're able to have a shot at goal. Again, from a difficult angle, admittedly, but still a shot at goal. Playing his first game for season 2018. He's really tucked up against that fence, though. Is that Watton Street out there, Peter Mercado? Yeah.
It is. Running alongside.
You know the geography a bit better than me. He had to put everything into that Norton. It's going to go all the way. I think that's good. Another goal for Williamstown. 5-2-32 to 8-5-53. We're approaching time on second term. Mitch Norton coming in for his first game of the season. He'll be very happy with that kick. It was an extremely difficult kick at goal with the wind going across the face, although only a Zephyr at best, but still a difficult shot at goal, able to convert. So we seem to have a scoring ends, but not because of any particular weather that's taking place here at Werribee today.
Gone with Zephyr as well.
That's what Michael Peppercelli does bring to the table.
Bring all the big words to the coverage.
He's having a good debut, I must say.
I don't have any left, guys. That's all I've got.
Left at the I can't say that. Thesaurus, you left
Thesaurus.
that at Brighton. Did you, Michael Peppercelli?
It might still be in the car, Chief. Might have to go check it half time.
Ball back in the middle.
Left it at West Meadows yesterday.
As the Werribee clear. Oh, wait for Stoney next week. Chocolates to boiled lollies. There's the ball here. Working is Dorgan. No, we love Stoney. Here's Norton again. Oh, dragged down in the tackle by Munro. And the umpire says, give it to me. One who brought the thesaurus, the other one who applies a machete to the English language. Happening in 2 weeks' time. Goodness me. Ball tossed back up. Here is Meese getting the tap down. Trying to work his way through, couldn't find any space. And again, the umpire will come in and intervene. On that outer side, forward for the Tigers, 53 plays 32. And in this quarter, they've been under pressure. So we're heading into time on. Whistle and a free kick. It'll go the way of Brew. I'm not sure what happened there, but the umpire was right on the spot. Brew going high and long and deep, and Rodder at the back takes the mark. Defensive goal square for Williamstown, and he gets them going quickly onto the broadcast or grandstand wing. His kick up the line, one-on-one contest. Tavara's going to run out of room, eventually coughed it up. Pennick taken over the line, and we'll have it thrown in right in front of our commentary position, right in front of you, Michael. Absolutely, Peter. He did well to halve that contest. Kavara had 2 Tigers to go up against, so did well to get it out of bounds. Got to say, potentially confusing because they brought the boundary line out, but the old boundary line marking is still there. It is fainter, but the players, if they are under a bit of pressure, might just get a little bit confused there.
I was going to say that's one key feature here at Avalon Airport Oval that has remained after the development is that straight boundary line that we have got.
But it is a bit wider, it looks like. Anyway, ball here, right in front of us still, and the ball's about to be thrown
I can't actually recall which one was used last week on Peter Jackson VFL Live, if it was that one that's been greened out.
But there is also a little bit of artificial turf right around the interchange benches, a la Etihad Stadium style. Bewley getting the handball out here. He's found a teammate in Schultz. What a quarter he's had. His kick inside the 50, turned it over. And they should get away again. Brett has the mark for the Tigers. Inside defensive 50. He's looking to the outer side, and they're just going to do this slowly again, Adam. The kick across the ground is good. Kurt Aylett has the mark.
Now it's in the hands of Barrick. As the Tigers look just to slow things down a little bit. Feel like they need a steadying goal. There's a whistle before that kick. Mark's taken by Browman. And he's going to retain the footy. Not looking for the switch. Brett may have been an option. Decides to go longer instead. Putting up the Dukes is Berry. Takes a nice mark and quick to get the hands off as well. It's back to Browman as he goes toward half forward. Collins taking on Masters. Masters got in front. Got a hands on the ball. Williamstown ball. Wheeler did well. Now Schultz. Bewley's asking for it. The short pass, but wants to go a bit longer. There's Schultz up towards half forward. Zanell came to the contest late. Almost reeled in that mark. And Cavaro with a good tackle there on Browman as well. Hand pass came out. Maishman up towards half forward. Corbett's not close enough to this one. The only man that could have taken the mark was Thorpe, and he dropped it. Ground level. Ball was fished out there by Wheeler. Charleston. Schultz. Just in the field of play. Up towards half forward. That one's going to get picked off as well. Collins having a good second term. Has this one for the Tigers.
There's a seagull down behind the ball, guys.
Oh, yes. Not of the bird variety, of the player variety. Keep an eye on that, Michael. Find out who it is.
I think it might be Joel Tippett.
As the Boyd has it. Back to Pinnock at centre half back. Whistles going everywhere. Play's going to come from the ground. So it will be a blood rule. That means we have stopped. Just confirming the player, Michael, is it?
It does look like Joel Tippett.
We think it's Joel Tippett at this stage. He looks a little bit dazed too. He's just having his arm held by one of the trainers. So
anyone see what happens? He's following
I
the
think
ball down the other side of the ground.
I think he might have copped a knock in that marking contest.
Okay, well, he's very slowly coming towards you. And you'll have to go through the interchange gates, as he does now. And play will be able to recommence. But you'll be all over that, Michael. And we'll get an update from you shortly as the kick goes in short. And Hansen will get 50 metres. After taking the mark, he was pushed. And he will come down the ground. And after all their gains, that really not great from Lockie Schultz. There's making him earn it, and then there's giving away 50. As Joel Tippett walks past you. Looks like he's going to the rooms, Michael.
Yeah, that's right. He's heading straight to the rooms. A couple of trainers following him and just applying something to the face. I think he's got a bit of blood coming down, so okay. Not looking too good for Tippett at the moment.
Gibbons playing down back. Just managed to release the footy here for Williamstown. Lockie George going for the sanctuary of the boundary line. He's going to be pinged. That was deliberate. He just tried to clear the area. So Boyd will go straight back inside the 50. Pack forms. Browman trying to come from the front. Ball off hands. Now an opportunity to try to find some space. Grice held his handball, which was probably good because it looks like they were going to kick a goal there at Werribee. But Willie Wheeler, safe hands. He's just running around. Now he has to retreat ground and now going across and outside the 50 with a longer ball. No one could take the mark. Working there, Brett. He couldn't pick it up either. Now it's going to come back inside, you would think, for Werribee. Plenty of Williamstown numbers, though, at the fall of the ball. And now the kick into the middle of the ground. Maybe okay for Masters. He was brought down the tackle. Managed to release the footy. Good tackle by Collins, though. This is a good contest now. 25 minutes gone in the second quarter. Werribee 53, Williamstown 32 here on Peter Jackson VFL Live.
There's actually a Tiger that's on the bench at the moment getting some treatment as well with no jumper on as we speak. So a couple men down on either side of that interchange as we speak. Downfield umpire spots a free kick. Looking to see which way it's going. It's going to be a Werribee ball for Matt Hansen. Had a real breakout year last year for Werribee. Has the ball from the centre of the ground. Actually takes on the man on the mark, gets around him. Threw it onto the left. It was an awkward ball inside 50. Meese will be the man to clean up. Hand pass to Gibbons. Over the top looking for Kavara. Perfect kick from the Liston Trophy winner. And he gets it to Kavara, who moves it to the middle of the ground. What's the umpire going to say here? Downfield umpire says an illegal shepherd in the contest and a Werribee ball again. And there's one Tiger that's a bit slow to get up. It looks like Matt Hansen.
There's going to be another jumper number change too. We've got a 52 out there. Just need to confirm the player who swapped jumpers from that little bit of claret that came from them.
So Matt Hansen really slow to get up here at the moment. He's not going to take the kick. Collins will.
Well, but while that's happening,
around the grounds, Tigers are actually in front. That's Richmond against Casey. They gave up the first 5 goals of the game. They now lead 10-7-67. Casey a 9-2-56. It's a bit closer at Trevor Barker Beach Oval. Port Melbourne by a goal against the Zebras. Those games running at the same time as ours, so those will be either half-time scores or close to it. A great mark inside 50 by Nick Knott and a shot on goal, a much-needed one perhaps coming up for Werribee. As a slightly groggy Matt Hansen comes off the ground now, replaced by number 52. That's all I can go with for the time being. So all eyes on Nick Knott. This will be Werribee's first goal of this second term. Right foot's on the way. There's a little bit of right to left, but it's curved in nicely. 9-5-59, playing 5-2-32. We're approaching half-time. Peter Jackson, VFL Live.
Very nice kick for goal there from Nick Knott. Used a little bit of a breeze perfectly. Started it out right and brought it back nicely.
So, ball heading back to the middle. And after kicking that goal, he's having to trot off and head to the ruck. Nick Knott for this centre bounce. That was the steadier they needed, Werribee. 9-5-59, playing 5-2-32. Siren not too far away.
I'll brace myself.
Don Brew has changed numbers. He is 52. Thanks to the great man Kevin Hillier for helping us out with that one. As the ball heading deep inside 50, Maloney, it's a deep ball. Off hands, working hard there, Gribble, turning one way then the other, then dropping the ball in short. They've still got the numbers here and still got the opportunity. Hooper, the celebrator. It goes across the face for one behind. Just waiting till he bursts from a pack and makes his way through and kicks a goal, because it'll be an epic celebration. That's what he's known for. 9-6-60, he plays 5-2-32. 28 gone, second quarter.
I was going to say that season opener, which I was at down at Torquay, he kicked what looked like might have been the winning goal against Geelong, and that celebration certainly came out. Let me tell you, Peter Mercado,
yes.
back live. Meese, ground level. Ball does come out eventually. It is Brew that gets it back inside 50. De Klaas couldn't take the mark. Here is Hooper. Right foot snap. Very high ball. Very, very vertical. And it almost hit the behind post. It goes in for another behind. It's now 9-7 to 5-2. They were 8-2 at one point, Werribee.
It's been a good few minutes for Werribee. They haven't been able to make it pay on the scoreboard, but they've been able to lock the ball inside their forward 50, and they might be able to sneak one in before half-time.
Well, let's see. Certainly hear the siren, just preparing the defibrillator for my co-commentator as Collins, a double grabber. Did well in traffic, called to play on. Did well to get around Gibbons, but had to get around Donnell as well. He's kicked deep into the pocket. He's going near the boundary. And the hands from everywhere. So we'll see it over. As, well, it's been a quarter punctuated by injuries. But still, they're holding their advantage, Werribee. 9-7-61, plays 5-2-32. Ball tossed back in. Peter Woods managed to get the handball out. Here's Hooper! There you go. Oh, and he's celebrating as well. That's what you want to see. The celebrator up and about. One of his more muted ones, but boy, he's still getting the boys up and around him. That's his first for the afternoon. And just a couple of goals here heading into halftime. Andy Collins won't be happy with this heading into red time, or deep into red time as we get towards halftime. And that is Andrew Hooper's first goal for the afternoon. And as I wait for the scoreboard to go through its sequence, about 14 different things. 10-7-67 plays 5-2-32. 30 minutes gone in this second quarter. They've had a couple of breaks for injuries, but only the 2 goals for the Tigers, but they've come late. 3 goals for Williamstown, who haven't been able to make an impact in this second term.
So we've had 2 goals that have just steadied things a little bit here from Werribee. Maishman, they might sneak in a third as we go towards half forward once more for the Tigers, but Corbett's not going to get to that one. Donnell was in the right spot and picks this one off for Williamstown. Goes shorts over the top. Okay. That was a careful little pass. So we've had 2 quarters that have gone beyond 30 minutes here so far today. And a high kick over the head of Schultz. That's a big fist onto Watton Street. That ball's gone. Boundary throw in out of sight.
So we've seen the Seagulls dominate this, well, the first 20 minutes of the quarter anyway, and only able to put on 3 goals. In the last 5 minutes, Werribee have just been able to steady, as we've said. They've kicked the 2 goals, and they've gotten that lead back out to 35 points heading into half-time.
It's a nice cushion for a side still looking for their first win of season 2018. Boundary throw in. Berry, he's Aylett over the top of the ball, got pushed over, held onto it though, did well, got his hand pass out. Also just pinballing around a lot of bodies at the moment. Wheeler, he's going to emerge with it, goes over the top by hand, that's okay. Pickus. Now it's George that sends it up towards half forward, a nice little deft pass, and Williamstown looking to get one back, a high one inside 50. Drew the man to it, and that's a good mark taken by I think it is a slight angle. He can kick Williamstown's at 6, potentially after the half-time siren, which I'm bracing for.
I know you are. It's like they heard you. They absolutely heard you.
So, as we had to end the first term, we're going to have a shot on goal after the siren here, and all eyes are on Jalen Thorpe, who is goalless so far today. Slight angle. We can reduce the margin to 29 points at half-time. Comes in toward the Geelong ends, right foot ball, and you can't fault that. A nice way to end the second term here for Williamstown, 6-2-38. That's their half-time score, but it's Werribee that are in front, 10-7-67 runner-up, and then we've got Port Melbourne, 7-6-48 leading Sandringham, 5-9-39. Just got to thank Mark Penaluna there. We've got some sticky date pudding here. I thought you were joking when you suggested that off air. Just in that last break there, Peter Mercado.
That is the standard of catering we get here at Werribee.
Fortunately, there's only 2 though.
No, there's a third one coming.
Oh, yes. All right.
He hasn't got his headset on, but that's okay because we're away in the second half. I might as well call the footy because he's just seen it. He's not going to be calling for a while. It's Werribee down back. It's Gribble getting the handball out. Now a little quick kick. It's touched. Trying to get hands to it was Berry. Couldn't drag it down, but they've still got the numbers. Gribbles come up the ground. His kick up the line is a good one. No, it's going to be turned over. Greiser takes the mark. As he decides to go long. Need the first goal here, Williamstown. His kick, Buck Smith coming over the top. Couldn't complete the mark. And now it's going to go short. And the skipper, Sotomarco, takes the mark.
Hanson's begging for it at half-back. Goes a bit longer. That's okay. Mark taken Berry. And they go through the corridor. A wayward handball, though, so Brett has to go back and fetch. Hanson from true centre half-back now has the ball. Onto the left he goes. Half-forward, trying to draw the class to it. Kick the first goal of the day. Brought down by Rodder. And now Munro engaged in the foot race with Joel Tippett. Good to see him back out there. Some tape around his head. Copped a head knock late in that second term there, Michael Peppercelli.
Yeah, he certainly did, Adam. He's obviously had that wrapped up. A bit of blood coming out. He's got it wrapped up and he's got it right around the nose so everyone can see it, but he is back out there, which is good news for the Seagulls.
Double hander there from Meese. Bewley now to play.
Oh, it looks good, the sticky day pudding, let me tell you.
There is one more coming, we hear, for you, Peps.
Yep, but you'll get it after the game, hopefully. If you're lucky, we might leave you some.
Yeah, sounds like I'm not getting anything there.
Boundary throw in.
Correct weight.
Again, Meese led Berry to that ball, tried to get a fist on it and couldn't quite do so. So we've got a ground level grubber ball here. Hanson's engaged in battle with Bewley. Ball up again.
We might just go around the grounds because we haven't had an opportunity to check some of those half-time scores.
Yeah, so the Tigers up by 21 points against Casey. That one's at the Swinburne Centre. And Port Melbourne by 9 points against Sandringham. Both of those into the second half.
As the kick goes high up and under. Inside 50 here. Hooper, handball out for Werribee, whistle, throw. And it's going to be a turnover, and Rodder's going to take the free kick.
We have an AFL score as well, 3-3-21, North Melbourne leading Hawthorn 2 straight 12 under the litter Eddie had.
Not sure which way he wants to go, so he'll go short. Back on the ground, Joel Tippett. He's been wrapped up. Speaking of which, he finds Gibbons, who kicks up the line, and finds Jack Charleston. Half-back for the Seagulls, looking to get something going on the broadcast side. His kick, short. And making up that ground is Gibbons again. Got no one to kick to. All one-on-ones up the grounds. So he'll just go as long as he can. Big pack flying for this one. Meese And Buck Smith got it. Handball down to Wheeler. Now they've got some run. Donnell through the middle of Avalon Airport Oval. His kick short, finding Pongracic. Took it on the half volley. Back there to Donnell, who's got a player alongside. There's another shot at goal coming up. Stand by. Dorgan kicks it. He's first for the afternoon, and that will get them going. 10-7-67 play, 7-2, 44, 3.5 gone in this third quarter.
It's great work from Sam Donnell to find the open man, streaming inside 50 there. Could easily have blazed away, but instead turned his head, had the vision and the patience to find the man there who could kick the goal.
Well, they just got out there. I think that was the main thing. And they were able to put Werribee under pressure.
So the margin 23 points on Peter Jackson VFL Live. Another wayward bounce. And we'll start again. I think I've made my personal view clear on that one.
The key point about that, I reckon, Adam, is because for umpires that might struggle in that particular area, you don't want them counted out of the game if they're excellent officials.
Yes, decision making is the most important thing we want from our men in green. That's a good mark taken in defence by Collins. Having a very good game down back for the Tigers. Switching ball, McFarlane also has been playing some good footy down back, and now it's in the hands of Gribble. Thought about the dish-off handball through the corridor, holds on to the Sharon for now, spins it in his hands as the umpire does ask him to get on with it as he goes high towards half forward over the head of Corbett. And out the back, it's a Williamstown ball. Now look to switch. Pickus took a while to turn around. He was potentially an option. Now it's Charleston that has it. Just beside the centre square. Got it moving nicely. And the Seagulls inside 50. Thorpe with the jump. In fact, it's Masters. Can't take it. Schultz overran the ball. Just got pushed out of it, nudged out of it by Henderson. Handball as he was spun away in the tackle. Masters make sure that ball's going nowhere. Ball up at the top of the square here. Seagulls are pressing right now. 23-point ball game.
Started the second half well, the Seagulls. I'd love to get another one here.
So the umpire throws it up. Buck Smith back in the ruck here against Collins. Hand pass comes out. Masters with the left foot. That's not going to come back enough. 7-3, 45 the Seagulls. Werribee at 10-7, 67. 5.5 minutes into this second half. And it's Pennick. That rushes his kick in toward the outer side. Collins and Dorgan. Aylett came in to help Collins. Collins had the loose ball to pick up, but he was harassed as he tried to get his handball out. Now it's Bewley. Masters. Schultz was calling for it, but just got held up. Now it's Hanson that has it for Werribee. Needs to get around. Bewley does. Wants to go to switch. Not a great ball. Turnover. Kick smothered off the boot of Pickus. Well done, McFarlane. Picked up now. Gets Kavara, who kicks the goal. And Williamstown are coming. 8-3, 51 to 10-7, 67. It's down to 16.
Great forward pressure there from the Seagulls. We saw the smother, which led to the shot at goal for Kavara. Those little 1%ers and pressure acts, they show up on the scoreboard. Margin now only 16 points.
Tell you what, just looking at the sticky date pudding over here, might just have to allow you just to call for a period of time, Adam. Looking good. Anyway, let's focus on the footy. 67 plays 51. Ball back in the middle. 7 minutes gone in this third term. Next week, we're off to Coburg. Ball back in the middle, and Meese couldn't get a hand to it. Good tackling pressure from Bewley. In the middle of the ground, the umpire will throw the ball up. As it's tossed back up. Meese again with the front position. So key for him. Back to Bewley. Handball. Pongracic went through his hands. Turnover. And almost turnover again. Dorgan had to juggle it. He was worried off the footy. And now the kick going long. Maloney putting it up towards half forward for Werribee. Rodder. Big fist. He found some space. Found Bewley as well, who got it off to Gibbons. On centre wing. Right near the boundary line. He kicked high up and under. Barrick had to be brave and was, but couldn't pick up the footy. It's now in the middle of the ground. It's in Werribee's hands dangerously. Picking it up is Brew. He hurls it on the boot. A high ball. His kick heading up towards half forward. Dangerous possession. Rodder there again for the Seagulls. They dive in on top. And the umpire will call a stop to this. Good contest. And we'll have it thrown up.
Willie Wheeler just having a little bit of work done on the groins, boys. He's got a couple of physios working on him at the moment. Should see him back out there shortly.
As the ball working there, Meese, Gibbons taken off the footy. And now it's Bewley kicking inside the 50. This one, Thorpe caught at the back. He's got a bit of work to do, and the fist comes in from Boyd. He punches it over the line, and that kills the attack from the Seagulls. And we'll have it thrown back in with 35 metres around from the Williamstown goal, pressing in this third quarter. 8.5 gone, 67 plays 51. Werribee leading.
We need to keep on pressing here to Seagulls. They're 1-1, Werribee 0-2. They're holding on to their lead at the moment. Kavara brilliantly through to traffic, but the kick is skewed. It doesn't even register a score. It's still in play. Pinnock going to get led to the ball by Thorpe. He can dish the handball out, does. Masters. Good harassing pressure from Collins. Went back inboard, and now it's in the hands of Pickers from 50. Decided to go towards the square. Out the back, Bewley wrapped up as soon as he got the ball. Little soccering ball from Kavara. It's going to ricochet off a Werribee knee and go through for a rush behind as Barrett gets ready to bring this one back in. And slowly that margin is getting smaller. 15 now it is.
It is. The ball going long outside the 50. Getting hands to it there was Collins. Couldn't bring it down for Werribee, but he's got good support. Kick was partially smothered out there. They've still got the numbers. Hansen, his kick up towards centre wing. Well done there, Monk. Trumped to his feet, but I think he's run out of room. And the umpire says we'll bring it all the way back down to centre wing. And the boundary umpire was in best position there. I think Monk ran out of room. We'll have it thrown in. 10 gone. Third quarter, 67 plays 51. Werribee leading here on Peter Jackson VFL Live. Bewley, he's having some sort of quarter. Plenty of possessions. Norton laying the tackle on Browman. The umpire will come in and intervene. Just into attack here for Werribee. We need a similar pattern to what we saw in the second quarter. It was Williamstown pressing, but then a couple of steadiers for the Tigers. Let's see if they can get it here. Is the ball going inside 50? It's a deep ball. Gorbett's just looking to corral it. Worked it back. Munro, spearing ball, and the mark's taken by Hansen.
Munro's going to have to come off soon. He is bleeding from his left cheekbone at the moment.
I think the trainer's seen it. The kick went in short, by the way, while we were looking at all that happening. Loose checking again from the Seagulls, and Tom Gribble has it. And he'll line up and have a shot directly in front, 45 out.
Munro making his way off the field now, boys. Well spotted, Adam.
Kicked one in the first quarter, Tom Gribble.
So, in he comes. The steadier, left shoe, kick, a goal. No problems at all. That's what they wanted. 11-7-73 playing 8-3-51. We've gone 11 and a half minutes in this third quarter here on Peter Jackson VFL Live. Around the grounds, Adam.
Richmond 12-10-82 leading Casey 9-6-60. The Demons have just stopped in that one. Sandringham 6-10-46, very inaccurate and only down by 2 points. Port Melbourne 7-6-48 in the AFL. A very fast start for the Kangaroos. 6-3-39 to my Hawks, 2 straight 12.
How do you think they'll go this season, your Hawks?
I'm feeling okay. Equal top of the ladder as we speak. Sneaky top 4, I'll be happy. Back in the middle. Meese did well to lay the tackle there on Maloney. Umpire crosses his arms. Ben Kavara waits to come back out onto the ground alongside Buck Smith. Perfect day for footy at Avalon Airport Oval as Meese tried to get it down to Gibbons, but Sotomaco was there for Werribee. Tackled out of it, Myers. Gibbons gathers the ball now on the outer wing, one way then the other. Had some pressure from Petterwood. Great kick inboard. Mark not taken though by Pongracic. Immediate pressure on him. Barrick with the good tackle on Schultz. Holds things up, still inside the centre square.
Matt Munro has had his cheek patched up. He's ready to come back on.
That's Michael Peppercelli, boundary side.
Kept the same jumper, I hope.
Yep, yes he has. Still got the number 2.
Ground level ball here, picked up by Norton around onto the right half forward. Donnell met the ball nicely, fell under it, took the mark and have a shot on goal. Is to get that margin back to 16 points. He's giving himself a fair run up as well. Man on the mark. He's about 45 metres out from goal. Donnell's almost in the middle of the ground. Just on that centre wicket area. Sam Donnell, a star of the Peter Jackson VFL. Got very close to the man on the mark and he hooked his kick. 8-4-52, playing 11-7-73, halfway into the third.
I don't have the stats on it, but I would suggest that every point that's been kicked to that end of the ground has gone to the left. As McFarlane kicks to himself and then goes long outside the 50. Collins at front position and fell to the back. Almost a surprise mark taken there, but Werribee off to the races slowly, pedalling in front of him. Pinnock, he lost a handle on it and he's turned it over. Buck Smith tackled over the line and he's pinged for holding the footy. He's pinged for holding the footy. Well, I thought he might have been over the line first in a photo finish.
A little bit going on afterwards too.
Oh yes, it's Hansen.
Peps could have poked his mic into that and we would have got it straight there.
Probably needed some sort of language warning, I would have thought, on it. Sotomarco, the skipper, will go back to Hansen. Short kick to short kick, back where we were. Right near the Williamstown interchange bench. And Hansen just spearing a ball across the ground. It was intended for Brett. He couldn't pick it up, and now they've turned it over. Gibbons working through the middle. Got handballs over the top. Here's Dorgan, 52 metres out. Long ball. It's going to miss to the left again. That's amazing. Every behind that's been kicked, I'm almost certain they've gone to the left-hand side of the main stick. 15 gone. Third term, 73 plays 53. 20-point ball game here on Peter Jackson VFL Live. Werribee leading.
Barrack did well to spot Aylett out on that outer wing. Watton Street side of the grounds, Avalon Airport Oval. As he goes short, that's okay for Gribble. And has 2 goals today. Kicked one earlier in this term. A lovely set shot. Set shot goal kicking has been pretty good both sides today. Now Barrack as they come near side Werribee. Buck Smith got a fist on the ball, but down to the wrong man, and they're away here as Berry goes toward half forward. Tries to hit DeClass, good pressure, Tippett. Ball spills out of play. DeClass says hello to Joel Tippett.
So we want the crowd getting animated as well.
Both sides ringing in the changes as well. Charleston sneaks back out onto the ground for the Seagulls. Boundary throw in. 16 gone third term, game in the balance, but it's Werribee in control by 20 as we speak. Sotomarco harassed by Charleston. Aylett overran the ball, Charleston won it back. Hand pass in board, now a long range high ball up in the air, not quite claimed by Williamstown. Charleston lost it. Now Gribble's going to chase this down, but Bewley's going to put some pressure on him. Kavara had the ball spill out to him, well done Hansen. Got the tackle, forced the turnover. Now Gribble. Standing start on the left toward half forward. Rodders in position A. Almost collided. Friendly fire. Took a very brave mark at left half back.
Oh, a bit slow to start, but boy, he's come good as the kick goes up the line. Buck Smith, one-on-one contest with Matt Hansen. The ball careered away to Lockie Schultz, who's on the interchange. Hansen decided to tackle him as well. That's how into the contest he is. 73 plays 53. 17 minutes gone in this third quarter. Werribee leading. But it's Williamstown pressing. Meese again with that little shove out, but only as far as Makeshman. He thurls it on the boot. It's out of bounds on the full. Turnover. Another opportunity for the Seagulls.
As you pointed out before, Peter, Nick Rodder really has stepped up after a shaky first quarter. He's taken a couple of intercept marks and he's just marshalling the troops very well down there.
Braden Monk one way then the other, and he floats the ball out of bounds on the full as well. It's off hands though. It's going to be thrown in. It had no spin, that ball whatsoever, as it floated over the boundary line.
Knuckleball.
In importance. Throw in here. Centre wing right in front of our commentary position. 20 points the margin. Werribee leading. Meese gets the front position. Down to no one in particular. Petterwood dragged down in the tackle. Needs to release. Can't do so. They pile in on top. And the umpire says, give it to me. Contest really tightening up. Can Werribee get another steadier, or will Williamstown continue the momentum? Meese, front position or not. He taps it down. Browman took one high from Gibbons. The umpire saw it, and they want to go on with it too.
50 metres as well.
It's going to be 50, and Gibbons is the player who's being singled out by the umpire. So that's not what they wanted. But boy, there's a bit of feeling in this one. Browman coming down the ground, the umpire running. It'll be Josh Pickers to stand the mark. He stands the mark 60 from goal. Browman goes into the pocket. It's a high, deep ball. Off hands. Gibbons just getting rid of his opponent. Now Charleston onto it. They've got the numbers here. Working there, Norton. His kick into space. It might be turned over again. Getting hands to it is Drew. He's brought down and almost has his jumper taken off. Oh, they're getting stuck into him as well. Oh, boy, every single time the ball is in dispute. Lucky that jumper didn't rip. Buck Smith, the 228s were going at it. Oh, it's just spicing up nicely this contest.
These two teams back stand alone, and to quote Frank Reich, the rivalry's back on. Michael Peppercelli, boundary throw in, centre wing. Just forward of centre wing, in fact. Gibbons, who may have been held on to, gets a second bite at it. Had to get his hand pass out. Bewley, this intensity really lifting it, stayed in play. Brew gets a high 1.5 forward. Tippett trying to track it back. No mark was taken. Corbett pushes opponent out of the way. Greiser had it and lost it. Tippett tripped over. Ball's up for grabs. Greiser the second effort. Did well. Norton, they need some cool heads right now to Seagulls. Greiser gets the hand pass away, but it eventually goes out of play and a boundary throw in. It was Ethan Petterwood that escorted it out. Sam Donnell just getting some work done on his calves and hammies as we speak. Boundary throw in. Time on, third term, 20-point ball game. Peter Jackson, VFL Live. Saw a great comeback last week by North Melbourne. Could we see something similar from Williamstown here today? Greiser, hand pass inboard. Pickers tried to set up Kavara. Needs some help. That was provided. They're away. Monk found some space in the corridor. Half forward. Mark taken by Masters. A couple leads on offer. Lockie Georgie's desperately asking for it. He's going to go high and long to try and set up Buck Smith. Up for grabs. Buck Smith couldn't get close enough to it. Good tackle, Gibbons. Trying to feed that hand pass out. Pongrasic's now got it, but he's wrapped up.
He was all on his own, deep inside the 50. He was standing there for what looked like an eternity, and the ball went long over his head.
Yeah, there were a couple of Seagulls standing on their own inside 50 there. The Werribee backline very fortunate to get away with that.
So tossed up. Barrick trying to get his way through for Werribee, going absolutely nowhere. We'll do it again.
Round the ground, scores are tied at Trevor Barker Beach Oval. Sandringham 8-12-60. Port Melbourne 9-6-60.
Even though it's 20 points here, it feels a lot closer right now. Clearing kick. Maishman hurls it on the boot. It goes outside defensive 50, but it's going to come straight back in. Seagulls with another opportunity. Monk. He's gone off the mark. Oh, he kicked into the man on the mark. He was in 3 minds in the end there, and he's almost coughed up the footy. In fact, he has. Worked it back. Rodder. Tackled by DeClass, and they've turned it over. Hansen, they've got runners. DeClass can get on his bike. He's got one outlier, and they've got plenty of time, and they've got plenty of space. The skipper takes a couple of bounces. Handball over the top. This is not going to be a good situation for the Seagulls because it's a goal. It's a goal. It's Munro who's kicked it. They got killed on the turnover, and being in 3 minds doesn't work out for you because they've got that steadier, and it's 26 points again, 11-7-79. And Williamstown, well, after getting close, after getting to 20 points, it's now blown back out. 26 points is the margin. And when you're caught in 3 minds, that is what happens. You turn it over, and it goes down the other end, and there is a goal. Munro with acres of space. 11-7-79, playing 8-5-53. The
Bees are inching closer to their first win as a standalone entity since the 1990s. We're back in the middle. We've been aligned to both the Western Bulldogs and North Melbourne in their time. Back in the middle we are. Of course, the Dogs were also once upon a time aligned with Williamstown. As the ball spits out towards half forward, Barrick over the top of it. Little handball out from Collins. Did well to get it to Maishman. Clearing ball. Here's the goal kicker, Munro. It's going to go over his head. He's got Monk right behind him. Claims it now does Munro. Inside 50 to Klaas. Over his head. Ryder couldn't take the mark either. Ground level. Ball's up for grabs. Charleston received the handball. Got it out. And now it's going to be Masters. Takes the mark left half back. Donnell's asking for it on centre wing. It's Norton, in fact. Goes inboard. Wheeler. One of our favourites. W squared has the ball. Goes short. We're going to play the short game here at the moment, Williamstown. It's Stevens that has it. Haven't called his name too much today. Cooper Stevens needs to come off the line, asked to play on. Got around Corbett. The kick needed to be precise and it wasn't. Munro gets it back. Short pass to Klaas. 2 bites of it. Took the mark. Shot on goal coming up.
He has to go back and have this shot now.
Kicked 3 goals very early in this game and has not done much since.
It was really well done by Munro there. Kicked the last goal and set up this shot at goal here with that very nice defensive effort coming across to affect the spoil.
8 goals in the first quarter, only 2 in the second and 2 so far in the third for Werribee. They seem to have the scoring end in this third quarter. Kicking toward the aquatic centre, right foot's on the way and he points to the sky as soon as it comes off his boot. 13-7, 85, playing 8-5-53 on Peter Jackson VFL Live.
This third term is playing out much the same as the second quarter, in which Williamstown had the dominance for probably the first 20 or so minutes, and then in time on, Werribee just able to steady and keep the lead out to similar to what it was at the breaks.
Yep, and just fading into red time. 25 minutes gone. 13-7-85, playing 8-5-53. One of the more enjoyable three-quarter times I think you and I have experienced Adam Sarakoglu up here in the commentary position. As the ball back in the middle. Now, has Meese gone down? Did he take one high there? Keep an eye on that, boys. As the kick going inside 50, and Buck Smith comes out to take the mark. The big man just taking a long time to get up from the initial ruck contest. He goes short. That's a good kick. It had to be pinpoint. It had to be precise.
Just on the Meese, he was waving off the runner, but he's now going to come off the ground and just get checked out.
And Lockie George, who shouldn't have a problem kicking from here, will line up and have a shot. Hasn't kicked a goal today. Steps in, formerly North Ballarat Stars. He kicks. Is it going to drag back? Oh, that's a good kick. No, he just missed it. Oh, I thought that came back enough. He actually played the breeze beautifully. Not quite. 85 plays 54. Werribee leading. Almost 26 minutes gone in this third quarter. As we wait for this ball to come back in. Umpire says, get on with it, Dane McFarlane. He does. A long ball outside the 50. But it looks like it's going to come back in. Norton going across the ground. Schultz, well, he pretty much overran that. And the ball's been turned over. Gribble. Kick going through the hands of Munro. On there quickly is Monk. He's brought down in the tackle, but got plenty of players in support. As the kick goes up high and long. Working hard there, Donnell. He couldn't take the mark. Under pressure, the 23rd man, Jack Henderson. He did well, the young player for Werribee. And now Sotomaco's got some run on centre wing. He kicks a deep ball inside the 50. Almost the one-handed mark to Hooper. He couldn't take it. Ball still in dispute. Now the handball coming. Corbett. He's brought down in the tackle. Plenty of numbers here for the Seagulls. They do well. Bewley works it across to Charleston. He runs outside defensive 50. Puts the ball in short. Almost turned over. Buck Smith got hands to it. He picks it up cleanly. Gets the handball across. He's got teammates in support. Now a high ball. Kavara did well. Got rid of his opponent. Now needs to run on and get something going. Little kick over the top. Not going to find the target. It's going to come straight back out and then straight back in. Bewley, handball over the top. Sets his teammates a task. Did really well. Thorpe got the handball away. Kavara, he's 48 metres out. Low ball, goal square mark. But no goal. And Donnell,
Make no mistake.
He could have just let that go through. He decided not to. Top of the goal square, he kicks the goal.
Make no mistake, that was a deliberate pass by Ben Kavara. Lovely kick on the left.
Could have just let it go through anyway. Meanwhile, the score stands 13-7-85, playing 9-6-60. We've gone 27, almost 28 minutes in this third quarter.
We saw a couple of really nice repeat efforts there from Ben Kavara. He was able to take that mark one-on-one on the outer wing and then worked his way inside 50 where he set up that goal.
So it's a 25-point ball game here on Peter Jackson VFL Live. As the umpire goes into his routine, this will be another thing we might soon be without. The umpires needing to actually mentally prep themselves for the bounce routine, Peter Mercado. Back in the middle. Bounce is perfect. I must say, when the bounces do come off, they are a sight to behold in our game as we go inside 50 for Werribee. Munro jumped, claimed the ball but lost it. Now Charleston received from Tippett. Wide ball's okay, and the Seagulls can rebuild this one off half-back. Gibbons absolutely begging for the ball in the opposite flank. That's not a great ball, it's a turnover. Maishman had plenty of time to think about it and punishes Williamstown for some sloppy footy across half-back. 14-7-91 playing 9-6-60, 31 points again.
Just looking at Andy Collins in front of us here, just his cap now over his face. He is furious, and understandably so, because that is inexcusable. That sort of turnover, players screaming for the ball, and really, that what can you say? That's why coaches have very little hair, or the hair goes grey for moments like that.
He picked out the lone tiger in between two Seagulls, and they made them pay back with interest.
Yep.
Beware that lone tiger.
Yeah, I'm not really worried about the Seagulls. There's the ball now coming through. Gibbons, he's taken the mummy wrap off as he kicks a long ball, heading in the direction of Masters. Donnell there as well, but Masters is dragged down. The umpire will come in and throw it up.
Guys, Nick Meese is still sitting on the bench. Can't get a great look at him at the moment. I think he might be okay. He did a couple of walkthroughs in front of me, but I think he's just resting at this stage.
It's the ball tossed back up. Here is Gibbons, flying shot at the goal, pushed off his kick. It's out of bounds on the full.
He's actually just come back on, Nick Meese.
Yes, I was sort of looking down around the benches. I thought, wow.
I spotted him maybe 30 seconds ago, and he's gone back out.
Louis Pinnock has the ball in the back pocket for Werribee. His kick going long and high. Oh, over the head there of Cleary. Probably could have gone for it in the end for the Seagulls, and they're away again. Have a look at this. It's Brew who kicks into the middle of the ground. Ball turned over and then turned over again. Good work by Petterwood just to get the ball away from his Seagulls opponent. And now a little shipping ball is good. And they'll just keep running. Maloney over the top, deep inside 50. And here's Corbett. Corbett wants to make sure that he's keeping pace with DeClass. And he will line up and have a shot directly in front, 25 out.
I won't challenge you on that pronunciation of Kai DeClass.
DeClass?
DeClass.
Okay.
Given you make an annual trip to Roland Garros, I'm not going to challenge you on that one. That's your call.
No. Well, that's all right. Good team solidarity. Corbett's kicked the goal. He's got 4. If we're going to be thrown under the bus, we're going down together. 31 minutes gone in this third quarter. 14-7-91, I think. Just quickly adding up my scores. Well, eight of those goals have come from 2 players today for Williamstown. And Corbett adding to the party with his teammate. 3 in the first and 1 in the second. 15-7-97 plays 9-6-60. 31 and a half minutes gone in the third quarter. Ticking down to three-quarter time. 5 goals for Werribee. 3 for Williamstown in this term.
Mason not to do battle in the middle once more. Meese claimed it himself and put it straight up in the air. A sky ball. Is that actually going to be a mark? It is. Well done by Ben Maloney. Ball seemed to travel at 15 required metres. And the umpire paid the mark and he goes wide. 4-0 to Gribble. Josh Corbett caught that ball moments after that siren blew, and it's three-quarter time. 15-7-97. The Tigers on their way to win number 1.
No, not in any official capacity. I believe he's holidaying. He'll tell us next week. We still have a quarter of footy to go here, though. 15-7-97 to Williamstown, 9-7-61.
And the final term gets underway with a Berry tap down, not necessarily to advantage, and it's holding the ball on a free kick for the Gulls. They need every advantage they can get now. Wheeler has it just behind the centre square area. Centre wicket area, I should say, towards half forward. A dribbling one for Schultz. Got it out to Dorgan. Inside 50. No mark taken. 2 Seagulls jump for the ball. Kavara at ground level. Left foot from Bewley is missing near side. 9-8-62 playing 15-7-97 as we embark on this final term here on Peter Jackson VFL Live, and a fresh footy here for Dane McFarlane. He goes short for Barrick. Still inside defensive 50. Werribee backline has had a very good day today as Barrick goes toward broadcast side. Maishman had a good second half so far. Now Hanson wrapped up. Good tackle from Greiser, a ball up. Right half forward here for Williamstown.
Did you get a chance to have a listen to Andy Collins while you were there?
I certainly did, Peter. He was happy with the way his team controlled the play in that third term, but he was just left to bemoan the turnovers that led to a couple of goals for Werribee.
Hanson got bulldozed. That's going to be high contact and a free kick for Werribee at left half back.
Nice use of the word bemoan too.
I'm not noticing. I'm used to this. You're the one picking up on these ones today. He's had a good debut, Peps.
Up the line, out of bounds on the full. Missed everyone there. And Joel Tippett has to go and retrieve the footy. So, he's right on true centre wing position for Williamstown. If they're going to be in this contest, they need one quickly, but they won't get it because Riley Barrick flies high and takes a spectacular mark. Mark of the day. Some nice elevation. Work the ball back. Brett works across the defensive goal square. In the end, falls to Aylett, who continues along, and they just continue up the line. Pretty good game today for Sam Collins. It's the kick up towards centre wing, and Buck Smith going to be turned over. He takes the mark for Williamstown. Called to play on. Got nowhere really to go. Charleston the short option. The kick over the head there of Gibbons, working into space Masters, and now he's wrapped up in the tackle. The umpire will come in and intervene. The shadow from this brand new grandstand make its way across Avalon Airport Oval. Ball tossed back up. And trying to get clear, Hanson. He manages to release his kick. Tippett working with Corbett. Corbett just tapped it down beautifully. Working hard here is Munro. Little dribbler ball for Hooper, who's got time to pick it up at centre half forward. One way, then the other. His kick finds the class. He's got to wheel around. Oh, they got options everywhere. Options absolutely everywhere. Ethan Petterwood's the one who won the raffle, and he will have the shot at goal, and he'll line up from 48 metres out, pretty much directly in front.
Well, they did set themselves the goal of winning this quarter, Werribee, so they're off to potentially a good start here with the class.
As he steps inside the 50, Petterwood, his kick wide. And again, guess what? Behind's been kicked. Guess where it's gone? Left-hand side. That's incredible. 98 plays 62. No real breeze today to speak of.
Bewley comes towards us. Rodder, good hands. Strong mark. Collided with Cleland's. He's a bit slow to get up. Happy to take his kick. We've liked Nick Rodder's game today. It's one of the new faces in this Williamstown lineup. Goes high towards half forward. Jump at the ball there from Thorpe. Couldn't bring it down. Stays in play. Ball up.
A recruit from Darley.
In the Ballarat Football League. Umpire throws this one up. Skibbins, it's wrapped up and not going anywhere. It's a good strong tackle on him from Maloney. Gibbons actually not happy with the treatment. I'll correct myself, the tackler was Brew. And he almost got the roving tap here. It goes out of play, forced out his Maishman. So we've had back-to-back stoppages here. 4 minutes, 5 minutes nearly into the last term. The margin is 6 straight kicks.
Still plenty of feeling in this contest despite the scoreboard. Lots going on off the ball.
Oh, yes, there is.
They don't like each other, Peps.
Ball tossed back in. Bewley, Meese, held up. That's just the strength he has. Brett was all over the top of him. He just hurled him off his back like he wasn't even there. Ball tossed back up. And Meese again trying to get the ball down. Willie Wheeler runs onto it near the boundary line. He's kick up to the paint of 50 on the numbers. And the mark has been taken. It's Thorpe, who looked a little bit proppy as he took that mark, but he's looking like he's going to have a shot from 55 out. Riley Barracks standing the mark. He's on the 5. He's actually standing inside the 0. Now he goes to the 5 and then he'll move back to the 0 as Thorpe from 55. That's a long kick, but it's going to miss everything. It's out of bounds on the full. And don't the Werribee fans like that? 6 minutes gone, 98 plays 62. The Werribee fans have had a good day today, but they still need to finish it off as McFarlane kicks long outside the 50. Wow, flying high there again was Thorpe. Couldn't bring it down. It's near the boundary line. It goes over. We will have it tossed in half forward for the Seagulls. Been a good day for them. We'll go around the grounds shortly as well, with Richmond getting the job done of a case in Sandringham, Port Melbourne. Tight finish coming up there.
And that one's going to go down to the wire between the Zebras and the Borough. Clearing ball here from Hanson. Going up was George. Peddlewood happy to let it go out of play in a boundary throw. And he's coming to the second half a little bit, Peddlewood. Missed the shot about 5 minutes ago. Umpire to bring this one back in. 15-8, 98 Werribee, Williamstown 9-8, 62. That's a margin of 36. Gribble had to release his handball because Gibbons was coming off the ground. Bewley didn't quite get purchased, but it didn't matter as Gibbons just shrugged off the tackle inside 50. One-handed attempt at the mark, not claimed. And a boundary throw in. Was a fair effort though that time from Tom Cleary.
I think Bewley's had a good game today. He's done a few things that don't necessarily show up in the stat sheet. That little soccer there, flicked it off to Gibbons, and that could have potentially set up a shot at goal.
That would go down as a kick, wouldn't it?
Probably.
Meese. That'll go down as a hit out. Bewley, hand pass over the top, tried to set up Greiser. And they can set something up from half forward here, the Seagulls. He went in board. That was okay for Gibbons. Pongrassi's asking for it. About 40 out. Goes for Donnell. Slipped through his hands. Ball spills out the back. Good tackle. Collins. Picked up Munro. Ball up. That was Hanson that time, in fact. Inside 50 for the Seagulls. They're fast running out of time, down by 36 points. It seems as though Werribee are going to sing the song for the first time in season 2018. Another baller.
Well, that'll be good. We'll see if we can get the song.
They've had 2 close losses so far. Last week here against Casey. That was under lights. And back in round 1 to start the season. I think that was Easter Sunday at Torquay.
Yes.
Lost that game late against the Cats. Umpire throws this up. Ground level. Skew with kick. Doesn't go far. Greiser engaged in battle with Corbett. No mark was taken. Yet another stoppage.
As you pointed out, Adam, they have been in winning positions in both of their games so far this season, the Tigers, but you'd think with a 6-goal lead almost halfway through the final term, they should have this one covered.
So, well, yeah, you'd think so. Bewley. Stranger things have happened, though. Brelman, his kick up the line. The class out marks by Pickus. And they need to get moving quickly. Time is on the wing. Donnell just held up on the mark. He's right inside the centre circles at Avalon Airport Oval. Spearing ball inside 50. No one can take the mark. Still under pressure as Kavara going around his body. High ball, top of the goal square. Oh, player taken off the ball without it. Browman ran into Pongrassic's tackle. And the umpire says, give it to me. They've got the TV game next week. Williamstown, Werribee I should say, against Richmond. Back here at Avalon Airport Oval. As the umpire throws the ball back up. Meese getting the tap down, only as far as Gribble, who just tries to clear the space with a high ball. Charleston takes the mark. Did well. He's under pressure. Great job to take that mark. Go back and have a shot at goal.
Had a little bit of a size disadvantage on his opponent there too, Charleston, so did well to come over the top and take the mark.
Williamstown host Frankston next Saturday afternoon as well. So, let's see.
Is that the Battle of Port Phillip Bay?
Charleston claiming derby status for that. Oh, his kick was very, very short. Not sure where he meant to pass it or he just fluffed the kick. Anyway, ball spills free. No, dragged back in. Thorpe at the bottom of that.
Around the grounds, Port Melbourne have started their final term with a point, saying lead by that point against the Zebras and the Tigers by 15 against Casey.
So, ball dragged down and through hands again. It's getting a little bit untidy now. 98 plays 62, 11 minutes gone. Should mention that the John Pine Cup is going to be presented on the ground after the game. Werribee Life member and Hall of Fame inductee. And John made a huge contribution to the club as a player, coach and administrator, from his arrival in 1975 to his untimely passing in 1989. So it's great to see that his name is being remembered with the cup being delivered for matches between these two teams. As the ball's thrown back in, Mace just hacking it towards goal. Norton wasn't even there. He's ragdolled out of it. Wasn't anywhere near the footy in the end. So DeMarco, good hands out to Hansen. He kick outside the 50. Rodder got hands to it. Did really well. Seth Greiser running and tried to go back in again. Boy, it's under pressure. Pinballing around. The pressure has arrived from Werribee. Here's Willie Wheeler tight on the boundary line, kicking inside the 50. And the big man takes the mark. Barrick, one of his rare errors, and Lockie George, experienced in those situations, takes the mark.
Sorry, Peter. Barrick was pushed there and he looked toward the umpire. That could have been a free kick going his way, but the umpire let it go.
I'll back Lockie George on that one. His kick. Well, again, was he looking for the pass as he pushed that across the face of goal? It snuck in for a behind. Why is he not having the shot? The breeze is not doing anything, Michael, down there, is it?
No, it's not doing too much. It's picking up a little bit. Still probably going across the face of goal, but it's the same as it's been all day, Peter.
98 plays 63. Werribee leading 12.5 gone final term.
McFarlane went to Maishman. He goes back to McFarlane. Wider still, and that's too wide, in fact, for Sotomarco, and it spills out of play on the full. So Thorpe will claim the ball back for Williamstown. Happy to dispose of it. Went looking for Gibbons. Had to jump. Couldn't bring it down. Tackle on Sotomarco.
Oh.
Barrick ran into trouble. And he gets the free kick that time.
Well, that was head high. And while he might have ducked into it, he was going for the footy. Port Melbourne kicking clear. 12-9-81 to Sandringham. 10-13-73. Richmond 13-16-94 to Casey. 12-7-79. Final quarter action, both those games.
Robin Nahas with that goal for the Borough.
5 minutes into the quarter.
Kavara goes inside 50 looking for Masters. No mark was taken. Good tackle there from Masters. Right foot shot on goal. That's going to go across the face and be out of bounds on the full. So the Tigers will get it back once more through Maishman.
They butchered the footy today, Williamstown. Whistle. Does this ball have to go back over the mark? It does. Maishman, back pocket, will kick the ball long outside the 50. Buck Smith flew high for Williamstown, couldn't bring it to ground. Wheeler did, but he coughed up the footy to Boyd, who kicks up towards centre wing. 2-on-2 contest. Ball falls to ground. Munro went through his hands. It rolls over the line. We'll have it thrown in.
As you said before, Peter, they have had plenty of chances today, Williamstown, just haven't been able to take advantage of them. So wasteful around the ground and in front of goal, and that's why Andy Collins has had a frustrating day at the office.
We haven't had a goal in this quarter yet. Ball to ground. This could all change as Brew kicking inside the 50 for Werribee. Boy, play coming in 3 deep. That was ambitious. As a pack forms, and the umpire should come in and intervene on this. Yes, thank you very much. So tied up inside 50 for Werribee. Yeah, so just the one behind for Werribee. Williamstown, 3 behinds. Can they fix that now? Maishman, Browman, handball across. 23rd player Henderson starting to get busy for the Tigers, but he's coughed it up. Kavara is there. Works it back to Tippett, who goes on left foot looking for Masters. It hung in the air. Collins was bearing down, but he took the mark. Masters did well. Centre wing, out of sight. As he kicks inside the 50, Schultz has a hopeless task. Tried to affect the contest. Plenty of numbers around here for the Tigers. Working there, Boyd. They managed to get the clearing kick, but it may only be temporary relief because they're going to go back inside the 50 again. A high ball. Working to the front there, Dorgan. Now a pack forms. Boy, the skill errors in this game, particularly in the second half. Goodness me. 98 plays 63. 15 and a half gone in this final term. What looks like it's going to be a reasonably short term, Adam, if we don't get any goals.
Off air at 4:45 today, so 14 minutes more of airtime, Peter Mercado. I'm not sure this game might be done by the time we get to that.
I'm confident if we continue like this, it'll be a short quarter.
Well, they'll need to send Michael Peppicelli out for a post-game interview. Get you to start thinking about who you might go and target there, Michael.
I'm on it, Adam.
Thank you. Pinnock takes the mark. So a bit of intensity out of this one now.
Be interested if this game just sort of filters out to what we think's going to happen.
Yeah,
we want to go through his thought process as well. If he's onto it.
There's
Whoa!
an unrealistic attempt at the ball there and a free kick going against Munro to be claimed by Monk.
Might hear a few crickets in there, Peter.
Monk comes off his line. Still looking to engage with some intensity here is Monk, and he goes wide. Nothing directly up ahead here for Myers, and he goes high and long inside 50. Stay down there. The Collins. Ball gets hacked back out. A wobbling one. Petalwood fell down as he tried to take the mark, and the Tigers, can they get something going? Running onto it nicely, Munro. Got around right up. Loose man's out wide. It's Cleland. Might be within range. Man on the mark is right on 50. Cleland doesn't want to have a shot. Just goes short instead for Corbett. And he will be within range. We'll see if he misses wide left again.
Yeah. Just nice bit of, as we say, icing on the cake. What a cake it is for Werribee. I mean, this was a side last year that got belted by Williamstown, 71 points at Burbank.
And as a general rule, we can't have dead air, Peter Mercado, but I won't call this if it misses to the left.
Okay. So what are we supposed to do now?
I think our listeners know what happened with the kick.
Goodness me.
Another behind to the left.
Well, keep a note of this because we're coming back in a couple of weeks' time. I want to see whether it keeps happening. Gibbons, well, he was under the footy and Hansen came in late and he'll take the free kick. Gibbons, tough day today for him. Michael Gibbons, some trophy winner. There's his kick up the line. Oop, is okay. Bewley. And now he goes for a run off half back. Kicking into the middle of the ground. They've finally got some space that's opened up. If they could keep hold of the mark. George, handball across. Boy, he got it back again. Has a shot from 48. Kick drifting across the face and through for a behind. 15-9-99 Werribee, 9-10-64 Williamstown, 18 and a half gone. Final quarter here on Peter Jackson VFL Live. There's Barrick with the kicking in duties. He kicks long. Outside the 50, Buck Smith just held off the footy. Doing a good job there was Boyd, but the ball eventually dribbling towards the boundary line. And we'll have it thrown in.
Sam Collins was involved in that last contest. He's had an excellent game today, part of that Werribee wall across half back.
Werribee wall. This ball's thrown back in. As goes to the back, Gibbons dragged down the Petalwood tackle, got the handball away. Now Donnell works it across. Norton inside 50. Hey, they got some ball movement going and the skills were good too. Goodness me. It has been tricky today for the Seagulls, and Tom Cleary will line up and have a shot 45 out directly in front. The difficult part, I guess, will be, Adam, to try and pick a real standout player for Werribee because it's been such an even team performance. 23
pretty good contributors for the Bees today. He's the ex-Coburg man, Peter Mercado. No relation, though, to Phil.
No. In he comes. Cleary kick. He's missed it. 99 plays 65, 20 minutes gone. Richmond's 14-8-102 will knock over Casey, 12-7-79. Callum Coleman-Jones kicking a goal for the Tigers, 17 and a half minutes in there. We'll get you a score from Trevor Barker Beach Oval in a moment. Looks like 12-10-82 playing 10-14-74. Paul Melbourne leading.
Donnell was under pressure, tried to get it out to Charleston, who lost the ball, and Werribee get it back once more. It's a wobbly punt towards half forward. Rodder's in the right spot, true centre half back. Sets up Greiser, goes wide. Thorpe. Ball just held up in the sand there, and he lost control of it in the end, and Maishman was there to sweep it up. Went short to DeClars, goes inboard. Hooper's got space, looking into the sun. Well done, Monk, getting back there to get in the way. Braden Monk goes backward. Rodder, the man from Darley. Looks like he's from Darley as well. Kick down the line. Hello to our listeners in Darley. Kicking, hand passing board from Browman. And now Sotomarco, short little pass, okay. Petterwood takes the mark.
Go back and have a shot. Go back and have a shot. Don't wait for anyone driving by, just go back.
There was a good couple of efforts there from Monk for Williamstown, but again, a turnover inside defensive 50, and it leads to the shot at goal.
Really? This is going to be a short quarter. I can feel it.
Not giving himself a big run up. He was going to get pretty close to Jack Charleston. Kicks on the way. It's outside of the boot. Won't make the distance. Still a live ball. Hooper, right foot snap. Don't tell me that's going to go wide left. No, it's not going to register a score at all. Dorgan happy to rush that one through. 9-12 playing, no, sorry, correction, 15-10-100 playing 9-11-65.
Yep, they got to the ton today. Werribee be very, very pleased with this effort. Rodder has it in the back pocket for Williamstown. His kick going wide. And okay. As Charleston works into the middle of the ground, Pongrassic, tough day for him. Handball, Pickus was driving by, but he fumbled at the crucial moment. There's going to be a turnover, you would think. No, ball held up. The umpire will throw it up. So 22 and a half minutes gone in this final term. Werribee going to record a big win this afternoon at home. We haven't had a goal in this final quarter. The ball high into space at centre half forward for Werribee. No one really wanting a Charleston to run onto it. When it got under Hooper's feet, that was okay, said the umpire. Clearing kick by Monk. He just hurled it on the boot. It's a high ball. Bewley lost a handle on it, and now Hanson picks it up. Kicks inside 50 to Class. Dropped what he should have taken. On the 5 and the 0. Across there, Munro. Off a step, Peter Woods. He's going to put it up, but it's going to be marked by Jack Dorgan. He's going to take his time for the Seagulls, but he's not sure who to kick to. He's going to favour that outer side. And his kick has been marked. Thorpe doing a good job. 100 plays 65. 23 and a half gone in what will be a reasonably short quarter, you would think. As the ball heading inside 50 here. Kavara to run onto it for the Seagulls. He's got an outlier. It's George, who's got to pick it up. Now get the handball away to Masters. He fumbled at the crucial moment. George picked it back up again, wrapped up in the tackle. They're just sharing it. Now Kavara. It's right at the top of the goal square. He slipped at the crucial moment. Plenty of numbers here for Werribee, and cleared again. Sotomarco, safe hands, finds Gribble. 3, finds 4, and they should be able to exit the 50 with this next kick.
No 5 nor 6 out on the ground, so that sequence can't continue. High ball from Gribble. Hanson, he's fallen right onto his buttocks there, and he might not be getting up quickly there. Matt Hanson, one of their prime movers. Out the back, Petterwood. So plenty of the ball in the second half, and he goes short. Hanson's still not getting up. It's in the hands of DeClars. I think we're well into junk time now.
10-point ball game. Port Melbourne 12-12-84. Sandringham 11-14-74.
So Robin Nahas still the only goal kicker in that last term so far at Beach Oval as he goes high towards half forward here. And that's a good mark taken by Corbett. Quick to get it moving. Great kicking board for Brew. Directly in front will kick from just inside 50.
He's also had a very good game, Josh Corbett. Obviously kicked a big bag, but also set up a couple along the way.
Still not telling us who he's going to go out to.
Haven't decided yet.
Right,
Whoa.
surely right goalpost here, Michael Peppicelli.
I would think so, yes. That's the
Even-
way it's been going all afternoon.
Even just go right behind post. I think just to make doubly sure.
So it's Don Brew coming in. Left foot ball is on the way. It was skewing left, but it was
Hooray.
straight. Straight enough for goal number 16. 16-10, 106 to 9-11. 65. It's now 41 points. And not only a W, but perhaps a nice little percentage boost coming up for the Tigers.
Yep, and they had to be very, very pleased with their efforts today. Williamstown pushed at various stages throughout today. Just couldn't get it done. And a match-up with Richmond next week. TV game for Werribee, Williamstown.
We've got a TV game between two sets of Tigers.
We do. Tiger v Tiger next week.
Our man Nudge is going to have fun with that one alongside Big Campbell Brown and Jason Bennett.
I'm sure he will. Ball back in the middle.
Sure, there's a clash jumper in there somewhere.
Meese grabbed it out of the ruck. Wanted to keep going. He just put the ball up and under. Went about 15 metres. Maishman lost a handle on it. Guevara didn't. Just trying to paddle it forward. Pongracic did really well. Worked it there to Stevens, the 23rd player. Put up towards the top of the goal square. Buck Smith. He overran the footy. Just a little bit too tall for that on that occasion. And now the clearing kick. Werribee just looking to clear the space. It goes towards the boundary line and now goes over. Not the first one, but the second one. And it'll be thrown in right there near the Werribee faithful. They're just working on that function balcony and through the grandstand, which looks magnificent. We've had a great day today. So, ball in dispute. No one going anywhere in a hurry. Another stoppage. Almost siren time, you'd have to say. 27 minutes gone. 3 minutes for our Aussie Digital listeners before they leave us for today. Back at Coburg next week. It's Piranha Park. Coburg v North Melbourne.
Always a fun day up on top of Mount Coburg.
It is. Any long-term weather forecast yet? And there's your siren. It was junk time in the end, but what a win for Werribee. Just the one goal scored in that final term, and they run out convincing winners. 16-10, 106 to Williamstown, 9-11-65. I'm sure we're going to hear the song in a few moments. I reckon our man, if he can get around the skipper maybe this afternoon.
No, he's going the wrong way for that.
He is. We're just sort of changing his thought process all the way through, but we'll see who he eventually picks out.
Big Josh Corbett will be the man that Michael Peppicelli has.
All
We'll just
right.
wait for Peps to get set up.
To get himself organised.
A final margin of 41 points here today. Werribee have now got a win. Michael Peppicelli, all yours. You have a man that kicked 4 goals today, Josh Corbett.
Thank you very much, Adam. Yes, I do. Josh Corbett with me. Josh, must be nice to get the first win on the board for season 2018.
Fantastic, yeah. It's a great team effort. I think the boys will be very sore after this. It's always a hard-fought battle against Williamstown. So, yeah, it was good to get the monkey off the back, and hopefully we continue throughout the year.
Now, Josh, you've been in winning positions in both your games prior to this one. What was the difference today? You were able to pull out the win.
I think we just committed. We've sort of been trying to pride ourselves on the commitment for 4 quarters, and I think this week we were able to do so. There was sort of little patches where we lapsed maybe on 10 or 15 minutes compared to previous weeks where it might have been a whole quarter. So it was consistent to see some consistency from us. So, yeah, it was pleasing.
And how about your own game? You've kicked a big bag today. It must be nice to get on the end of a few.
Yeah, it was nice. Yeah, I have to give all the credit towards the midfielders and that because if the delivery is good, it makes my job pretty easy. So all I've got to do is go back and put it through the big sticks. So, yeah, it made my job pretty easy today. The midfielders were on from the start, I thought.
Well, Josh, you've walked away with a 41-point win. Congratulations. Played.
Fantastic. Good on you. Thank you so much.
Beautifully done. Thank you there, Michael. Our Aussie Digital audience leaving us now with Werribee convincing winners 16-10, 106 to Williamstown, 9-11-65. Now, the presentation of the Cup's going to happen. Before that, they led by 37 points, Werribee at quarter time, 29 at half time, 37 at three-quarter time, and they run out 41-point winners in the end.
We have the presentation of the John Pine Cup, the cup that's traditionally played for by these two teams. I have John Pine's daughter, Jodie, with me, and also brother Charlie. By way of explanation, John Pine was a Werribee Life member and Hall of Fame inductee. John made a huge contribution to the club as a player, coach and administrator to his untimely passing in 1989. He joined Werribee from local club Laverton, playing 8 games and kicking 3 goals across the 1975 and 1976 seasons. He was appointed coach of the under-19s the following year, guiding his side to the finals in his first year at the helm before leading it to the 1979 Grand Final, the first Grand Final appearance for any Werribee side. After juggling coaching duties for both the reserves and under-19s in 1980, John went on to serve as club secretary from 1982 to 1985 before taking on the role of vice president from 1986 until his death. With Werribee winning 16-10, 106 to Williamstown 9-11, 65, the cup returns to Werribee. I'd like to call on Captain Michael Sotomaco to say a few words.
So he comes up and receives the trophy, and we'll come up and say a few words after the win today.
Boys, I think we've got a pretty solid rivalry, but it's one sport out of respect. And I know for us going standalone, there's a lot of things that we look to your club to try and emulate with us. So I think we'll look forward to hopefully seeing you again. I'm not sure if we see you again during the year, but we'll look forward to a hard contested final if we both get there. So good luck for the rest of the year. Werribee boys, it's a pretty momentous occasion. First win and the John Pond Cup back into the change room. So when you hear his achievements, it's fantastic to do it. The honour of getting a win. So we'll enjoy it tonight. Thank you everyone who turned out. Let's make it the start of a good year. Cheers.
Yep, exactly right. Michael Sotomaco there receiving it. Let's go through the goal kickers while we have the opportunity. 4 goals to Kai de Klaas and Josh Corbett today, and 2 goals to Tom Gribble. Singles the rest at Munro, Maishman, Hooper, Maloney, Brew and Knott. And for Williamstown, 2 goals to Donnell and Schultz, and singles to Kavara, Dorgan, Norton, Wheeler and Thorpe. 16-10, 106 Werribee, Williamstown 9-11, 65 as they disappear off into the rooms, the Werribee team. In fact, no, they're going to have a little bit of a photo out there with the cup. That's a great...